Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Paper Dungeon. That's who we are. At this point in time, I think that most of you should know who we are relatively. We played Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. It's a great time. We're going to rapid fire introduce people. To my right, in the hat, it's Drew. Tell us who you are.
Yo,
Who do you play?
I'm Drew. I play Talith the Wizard. He's rad.
Let's go. Gracie.
I'm Gracie. I play Addie, the fighter.
Fire. Oh gosh, I said your character name, not your real name. Jar Jar. That's never happened before.
That's never happened. I am Jar Jar. I play Medora, a crazy druid.
Sweet. Last but certainly not least, my friend since we were 10, Grant.
Grant, Leslie, Ranger.
Wow, we are crushing it this episode.
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to our Kickstarters. Y'all are fantastic. We could not be doing this season without you. Do not worry. We are getting on your stuff. Please fill out the poll if you have not filled out the poll. Check your emails. We will be getting back to you very shortly. I know I've said that every single week since we started. Very shortly, it'll be happening. Additionally, we have a content warning now. This is our content warning. If you are not mature enough to watch this stream, don't watch it as much as we want you to, but don't do it because you shouldn't. This is an adult stream for adults. You should know better. I have one last thing. Grant, instead of doing everyone has a fun fact, it's just going to be Grant's fun fact time. We'll come up with a better name for it. But Grant, you're going to be hitting us with a fun fact every week. I'm making it a thing right now.
Is it just about anything, or is it just
it can be about
Leslie?
anything, preferably campaign related?
Okay, well, I have an opinion. Is that good enough?
Go for it. As long as it's
fun opinion time. Jeremy Soule, the composer for Skyrim, kind of looks like Phil's of Minecraft.
Fantastic.
That's my
fun
opinion.
fact, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
That has been Fun Facts with Grant. And this has been our intro. We're trying to make things faster, if you couldn't tell. Trying to improve our quality of life.
Amazing.
Drew, you can roll that intro clip now, and we'll just get right into the game. Last time on the Paper Dungeon, our semi-innocent ne'er-do-wells found themselves on the moon of Piran, the farthest moon from the main planet of Ouroboros in the sector of Ouroboros. Piran is a tourist locale. Big fancy houses, shopping districts, people from mainly places that aren't Piran wandering the streets. They were deposited there by the Dream Train, which they had been traveling on. And various things ensued. They kind of split up at the start. Two of them went to go find lodging, which they found at an inn called the Tail's End. That would be Addie and Leslie. And then our other two, Talith and Medora, kind of went on their own little adventure and met a little shop called the Hardened Scales that Talith was recommended by a young Timothy. I always want to say young Benjamin, and I'm not sure why. But young Timothy recommended this shop, saying that his totally real shipping company could maybe find some business there. I know it's actually real, Drew. You don't have to tell me. Once you were there, you mentioned young Timothy's name, and after a little trial from Medora, who is viewed as a little bit sketch, you were led into a kind of underground bar, which is one of the holdouts of the Resistance. You met some interesting characters, including someone who claims to be the man who killed the legendary Captain Leslie in the war, a man named Captain Bromley Silvers Marrow. After learning that information, you rejoin the rest of the party at the Tail's End, where Leslie and Addie had been doing some I want to say positive thinking exercises, but it was a lot of like, Leslie, you should just burn it. You should just go to war,
Listen
you know?
to your inner voice.
Yeah, just start cutting. And you know, once you've cut through the other side, you'll find out where you're supposed to be. Once everyone joined up, the party was approached by the best way that I could use to describe this man is if you were to imagine someone named Chad who's in a frat. He approaches the group and basically says, "Hey, ladies, you're hanging out with this old guy and a nerd. You should come sit with us." At which point in time, Addie stood up, and I'll need you to roll an attack roll.
Let's
You'll have
go.
advantage for this because he will not see it coming, and he is somewhat drunk.
We're just
Well,
starting with a slug, like a slug
One
to
was
the
a nat
nose.
1. The other one was a 19.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit. Can you? You don't have any unarmed proficiency.
I don't believe so.
Okay, in that case, it'll just be 1 plus your strength modifier for the damage.
5.
Oh,
Dang.
he gets slumped. I assume this is non-lethal damage.
No, it's not lethal.
Yeah, you stand up and deliver a swift right hook that just grazes his chin, and the kid drops like a sack of potatoes. Just he like ragdolls. And there's like a brief kind of lull in the conversation that was in this tavern as everyone kind of looks over. Would you like to roll an insight check for me? Whoever wants to kind of get the
I would love
vibe of
to.
what
I would
goes
love
on.
to,
Don't
dear.
let it be me.
I think
would love
Leslie's
more.
too busy hiding his face with
Yeah, Leslie's
the
right.
brim of his hat. He's like,
Medora-
this is not good.
Midori, you can roll one as well.
About 6, I feel like knowing
Oh,
that's
yeah.
happening in front of me, I was gonna be like, you make sure.
Well, my
Leslie's
passive
also
insight
recovering
is
from
15.
That's not good enough.
My
Give me the
my
numbers.
my I rolled a 5 on die, so 10.
Okay, 10. Medora, how we sitting on the insight?
Let's see, +2. I can't count. Hold on.
By the way,
17.
this is
Nice.
a new low for a Talith roll. So this is like I didn't think that he'd get close to a single digit number. I'll start with Medora. Medora, you're watching the kind of group of frat boys that this guy came from. They are dying. They are going to hold this over this guy's head for the rest of time. This is the most excited you think you've ever seen a group of college age boys. They are so pumped that this has happened. Talith, you're kind of eyeing the general vicinity, kind of trying to get a read on the regulars at the tavern, kind of everything like that. What you pick up is a sense of deep satisfaction from the rest of the people here. You think that this guy is probably a regular and is always kind of the worst.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, yeah, finally someone rocked this dude. I
Anyone
will
want
say-
another drink?
You hear the bartender kind of say, "It's on me, dear." And she will start filling up some mugs. As people kind of return to their conversation, this dude is still just passed out on the ground. His friends are not coming to help him.
Oh boy.
You are approached by someone that you previously did not see. Talith, it even kind of surprises you because you were like examining the surrounding areas, kind of on patrol mode here. But he just kind of emerges from the edges of the barroom, blending in pretty seamlessly, even though he very much should not be. He is wearing kind of like a tailored butler outfit. He has one of those like little thin kind of bolo ties, a long-tailed coat, white gloves, the whole deal. He has pushed back white hair and a really long like schnauzer mustache that like
Nice.
trails down off of his face.
Nice. I perfectly have him pictured in my head.
Thank you. And he walks over and he says, My apologies for the young lord here. I'm sure that he had too much to drink. If you would like to request any damages done, you can find him and his father at the manor.
What? Manor?
The Matvey Manor. Are you from out of town, I suppose?
Yes, sir, I am. Would you mind giving me the address
Oh, of
of
course.
the manor?
I suppose that would be necessary.
Help.
My name is Harold, by the way.
Harold.
I'm in charge of the young lord here. Once
I'm
again,
so sorry.
apologies. He has been acting out ever since he was adopted. He kind of writes down on he pulls out one of his business cards and then writes on the back of it the address to the Matvey Manor and will hand it to you. And he says, he tends to get a little bit rowdy when he's had a bit too much to drink, which is unfortunately much of the time, and his actions are simply inexcusable. I would understand if you would like to request any recompense for your troubles.
I appreciate that. I will have to swing by the manor at some point. Thank you. Okay.
By all means. He will give a quick look around the table, just kind of noting everyone in his mind. So that way he'll recognize you all whenever you come across him, whether it be in the manor or just on the streets. Yes, Talith.
This DM, you can tell me if I'm stretching here at all. Could I make an insight check on Addie during this interaction to see if the name of Matvey strikes anything with her? Because it seems, at least from my experience, it seems like Addie would not care about damages from some random frat boy.
That's a great question. I'll ask you, Gracie. How are you trying to hide your interest? Or are you trying to disguise it as actually be interested in the damage? What is Addie kind of trying to do here?
She's using her normal pissed off demeanor to mask recognition in her eyes. There's some curiosity there, but she's not trying to let it be known.
In that case, I'll ask another question. Do you want to contest roles to do this, or how would you like? I'll let you be the guiding source of whatever this role might be, if there is one.
I mean, I don't think that it would be like out of the way to notice the interest and recognition, but if you were to question her on it,
then we'd have to have
you're
some
not
stuff.
getting anything on it.
So
you would see there's some curiosity there.
Yeah, there is a slight change, and the only reason that you'd know it is specifically because you spent the last day or two with her, and you've seen how she normally is angry, and this is like advanced disappointment and anger. Can I ask Leslie, what is your passive insight?
Passive insight would be 12 DM.
12.
Which is greater than 10 by 2.
That is you. Thank you. That is good math, Grant. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You recognize the voice of this man.
Oh no, that voice.
But I there's nothing I love more in life than Leslie's inner dialogue. You have your head kind of covered with your hat, so you haven't gotten a good look at him. You've basically just been looking at his shoes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, if I could see his shoes.
I mean, they are kind of like very well maintained and polished, what's the name of them? They're not flats, spats. They've got that kind of old fashioned butlery vibe.
Oh yeah.
The shoes, of course, you do not recognize. Would you like to make a perception check to kind of get a better idea of him overall?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do that. Okay. We're cooking here. So that'll be 7 to perceive.
Okay, yeah, 7.
However, is there like potentially a shiny mug or
You would like to
a
use
plate
like a reflection
on the table
to get a better view of him?
I would love to use a reflection to see if I can get a better view of him while keeping my brim down.
I will say instinctively, Addie has slightly unsheathed one of her weapons, and you can see a reflection while she's standing up. So you can roll that with advantage.
Holster kind of thing,
Mhm.
but with
Fantastic.
a dagger.
That is better. Thank you, Addie. That is a 12.
Hey, that's 2 above a 10. I'm not
2
sure
above a
if you knew
10. Pretty good.
with a 12, you are able to see just a fragment of it where the glove meets the sleeve. There's a bare patch of skin that you see as he like shifts to hand the kind of business card to Addie, and you see a very familiar tattoo.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Everybody has secrets.
Yes, everyone does.
I have a feeling I know what
turn
this
to have
tattoo
the
is,
secrets.
but it could be any tattoo that I know.
It could be a tattoo that you have.
Has this strange, mysterious stranger left yet, or are they still having an interaction?
No, this is just him finishing the card. He hands over the business card to Addie. It has the address of the Matvey Manor. And he will say, well, I must take my leave. I'm sure that the young lord here would like to sleep off the goose egg that you may have given him. By the way, it was a good swing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He will lean down, and it's effortless. He just kind of grabs the young Matvey kind of by the collar and just stands him up, which is very difficult to do with a limp body. But he will put one arm kind of under his armpit and hold him up, and then he will snap his fingers, and a dimension door will appear, and he will just walk through it with the young lord. I did mention the butler's name was Harold, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Harold.
Yeah, because I thought of
it would
Hark
be on
the
his card.
Herald Angels Sing, and I'm going to pocket that in case there's any reason that can
Please
be
do.
made a joke later. Thank you.
Hark! Harold!
I was thinking like if there's any blueprints to the manor, I was gonna make like a Hark the Herald Angles joke, but we'll
man.
revisit that if we get there.
I sure hope that we do, because this will make a fantastic callback TikTok. That'll be great. As he heads through the dimension door, the bartender will head over with your free drinks to your table, and she will say, thank you very much for that. Garth, well, frankly, he's a son of a bitch. So,
My pleasure. I would do it again.
Harsh words.
well, he's a bit of a harsh man.
Well,
He's been-
although it's like that, it seems that like the candle light's on, it's burning, but no one's home. So
Well, ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
yeah. He walked up to the tallest, most scariest woman at the bar.
Oh, you don't look scary at all. I think you look
I
like
wasn't
nothing.
talking about me. I'm talking about, I'm like pointing at it, kind of like with a shaky finger because I'm still just like terrified to do
Using
anything.
a
Come on.
knife to like pick under her finger stuff.
That woman over there, she,
That's no way to talk about your friends. Come on.
I can hear
we can't-
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
She
you
can
did
hear
say
you.
yourself that you like to start fires, and apparently we just started one here now.
I didn't start a fire.
That's
Alright?
true. He did start it, and he was asking for it too. You
Alright,
gave him what he was
finish.
asking for.
We didn't start the
Lighting.
fire. It was always burning.
Okay.
He didn't start the
That was
fire.
on him.
And then that stranger walked in and talked to you as if you knew him. I'm not trying to get any details, But did you know him? That is.
Never
While they're
seen this
talking,
man
I'm like,
before in my life.
thank you for the drink. Thank you.
She's just kind of lingering around your table, very interested in your conversation.
Never seen him before.
bar-
but
Bartender, could I
recompense
get
sounds
actually get
great.
a coffee?
Yeah, and you can call me Cericia or Saris if that's easier for you.
Saris, it's thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You'll always be welcomed at the tail end. I've been waiting for someone to drop that tub of lard for years now. So
Wow.
she will go over and start pouring you a cup of coffee. The group of frat boys still absolutely giggling. They're giddy to themselves. Will now leave the bar as well because they no longer have a reason to be here. Their patron, you can tell that most likely Matt Vey was the one paying for their drinks. So they all leave.
That gentleman, the Manor fellow, he
Mhm.
mentioned that boy was adopted. Is that his father?
Beats me.
I'm asking the bartender.
Saris?
Saris.
Yeah, she comes back with the coffee and she says, "Oh, no, that's the butler of their estate. He joined up with them, maybe 5-10 years back. It hasn't been a super long time, but it hasn't been real short. He's a strange fellow. This is the most I've seen him talk in a very long time. Always kind of fisheye staring around. I don't know, creepy. And you can tell that he knows how to fight too. And I don't know, he's a strange guy. He follows Garth everywhere. Garth is the kid that you just dropped.
How long
see.
has Garth been in the Matt Vey family?
I mean, he was adopted maybe actually right around the same time that the butler joined. I
Okay.
think that they probably hired Harold. That's his name. They probably hired Harold to like protect him and guard him. When he was younger, I mean, he's like what, 22, 25, somewhere in that range. When he was like 12, he wasn't that bad. But ever since he was adopted, he's been throwing all sorts of fits, just been a real trouble causer. Just a real pain in the neck, honestly.
Mm.
And was he around 12 when he was adopted?
Yeah.
I see.
I was right
Now-
around then.
This Manor, this family, are they, apart from the son, are they well liked around here? Or are they problem causers?
Caven Matt Vey is a saint. He's helped out a lot with so many things, donations to like recovery facilities. His main thing is he actually runs an adoption agency.
Is that how he got his fortune?
Well, it is nonprofit. But there are a lot of donations, and he also runs a couple of other businesses. I think that he probably just inherited a lot of wealth. That's my guess. No, I mean, the main thing that he does is like he provides a space for a lot of the misplaced. I mean, I know that you guys are from out of town. You mentioned it earlier. I'm not going to pry. It's Piran. There are tourists everywhere. But there was the war that kind of wrapped up a little while back. And, a lot of families were kind of torn apart there. A lot of kids lost parents. And Matt Vey has been really working hard to make sure that those kids find homes. And, I mean, look, he's done a lot for the community. So his son, could be better. But hey, kids and parents can't be the same,
Especially with all this technology nowadays, changing how their brains work.
I hate you,
I'm
Grant.
sorry.
Yeah, they're always on their
I
phones.
say on a Twitch stream. Sorry about that. Don't know what that was about. And are there other families in the area that have power that aren't as well liked?
I mean, there are a few here and there. For the most part, I mean, Piran is just filled with like summer homes, basically. Most of the rich families don't actually live here. Matvey's the only one that has his main estate here on Piran. Most of the rich folk and nobles can't really stand to be around all the tourists all the time, taking pictures and all that sort of stuff. So, kind of, but not really. It depends on the time of year. When things get really bad on Ouroboros, storm season, some people head over to Piran.
Of course. If you were to pinpoint a location of where people who profited from the war might be staying, perhaps the moon or the main planet, where might you pinpoint that be out of curiosity?
Profited off the war, huh?
It's a very specific question.
That is a very specific question.
Very targeted.
Are you doing some type of like news article or what are you trying to find out?
I'm not from around
He's
here, and
writing a book.
I am writing a book actually. Yeah. And y'all like to glean from history from different places. So I'm not necessarily like doing a proper research, paper or anything like that. But for fiction's sake, all art is derivative, as they say.
Start slowly stomping on Leslie's foot.
So, I'm just curious about that. That's all.
I mean, most of them would probably be on Stormbreach, the main city of Ouroboros. They're the home of the side that won, so pretty much anyone who's profiting off of that would probably be on the main planet. But I mean, people lost some and they won some, thankfully I was able to get out. Being on Piran, it was the farthest away from most of the action, so I just kind of showed back up, and Piran hadn't been touched too much. I was able to start up this bar, and this is where I've been. So, but I'll tell you what, Matvey is actually pretty open to visitors most of the time. If you want some better idea of kind of the after effects of the war and kind of how that has affected people, you might be able to get into a conference with him and just ask him. I mean, he's been deeply ingrained in the efforts of like revitalizing the sector after the war. So he would be a good person to ask.
Wow. Well, yeah, that would be great for chapter 15 that I'm currently writing and working on.
Now I kick Leslie.
Sorry.
I just stare at him intently like.
She will pull out a notepad and she'll say, I mean, I know that like, writers, they tend to take a while to like release their book. And I don't know how many chapters you're supposed to have, but 15 is a while. But if I could just write down a title for this, so that way when it comes out, I would love to pick it up.
Yeah, absolutely. DM? Leslie would like to look around the room and see if there's any like words or phrases he can draw inspiration from.
There are a lot of names of beers that are labeled on the kegs.
Oh my word.
Okay, just toss me whatever Leslie sees.
There is a Flamwin whiskey. There is oh gosh, there's a quick shot stout.
Ooh, quick shot. Okay.
There is just an entire barrel that is just labeled lemon drop. You're not quite sure why that is. And
lemon drop.
Oh man, gotta get a lemon drop. If DJ was here, he'd be all over it.
He'd be all over it.
Let's see. Those are the main beer keg names that you can see. I'm gonna have to write those down eventually.
He kind of looks around.
This is terrible. Someone has a name tag that it just says Dave. And then you have someone's wearing a Letterman jacket, which is the Blink Dog. They're the Blink Dogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Love
yeah, the book's name is Quick Stop, Quick Drawers in History.
Okay, you said quick. Is it question? Was that a misspeak, or is it
Nope.
quick drawers in history, or is it quick stop?
No. Yeah, quick stop,
Okay.
one word,
Quick
space.
stop.
Quick drawers, space, in space history. And here's why I like that name in particular. You see, there are many events in history that stop quickly, unexpectedly, because of one or multiple individuals doing something quickly, like a quick draw in a gunfight. So this is all about moments in history that ended quickly, quick stop, quick draws of history. And that's why we're here, because the war ended abruptly, as far as I understand it.
That is one heck of a title.
Yeah, but the acronym is great. QQIH. Q. Key.
Wait, hold on. Isn't drawers the second? Shouldn't it be QQD?
No,
I-
No, that's one word.
they're one word.
I thought quick stop was one word, and you said that there was space.
Quick stop, quick drawers.
Okay, so is it hyphenated?
No, it's one word.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've written that down now, so
Thank you.
I'll make sure to keep an eye out for it on the bestseller charts.
Absolutely.
Maybe posted in the Sector Times. I really hope to see you around. It would actually. Could I get your signature?
Yeah, for sure.
She'll hand
I'd
you
be
the pad
happy
of
to.
paper, just in case.
Okay.
Look, you never know when someone's gonna blow up out of nowhere. And
Leslie just scribbles. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a scribble that like mimics a signature.
fantastic. She
And
looks
my
at it.
name,
Yeah, and your name,
Timothy Garthrax.
Timothy. Oh,
TG.
it's crazy that you have the part of the same last name as the person who your friend just knocked unconscious. That's pretty awesome.
Is that right?
Well, his name was
Small
Garth.
world.
Oh, subliminal
And
messaging.
You said
Interesting.
Timothy Garth.
Timothy Garthrax, and Timothy is also young Timothy.
Oh yes, Grant. We all picked up on that. Don't worry.
Definitely.
That's all subliminal messaging.
I'm
Freudian slip.
really excited to meet you and your friends once again. Thank you. I mean, I don't need to know your names. I'm sure that I'll see you around. But let me tell you, question. She points at you, Addie. Would you at all be interested in a position to here where you just do that regularly with any scummy person that shows up?
I mean,
Like I can just point them out to you.
whenever I'm in town, I'm happy to take a couple swings. I don't mind.
Because like as long as you're here dropping fools,
Yeah,
I mean, we've got a room available.
it works for me. I'm happy to help while we're passing through Piran. You just let
Fantastic.
me know.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to put if you know, I'll just start putting a bounty on people that just
beautiful.
walk through the door. You can just drop them. It'll be great.
Just nod in
this'll
their
be-
direction.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll put you on payroll. It'll be great.
I got it.
How
Absolutely.
much per punch we talking? I'm just
I mean,
curious.
To be fair, most of the scumbags that walk in here are like, we probably could beat them up.
It's not worth damaging your hands.
Exactly. It's the hands, and like I have a reputation as like a lawful barkeep and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. It's you're more of a bouncer position.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And so
yeah.
like per head, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 bits sound fair.
Wow.
Works for me. I'd do it for free, honestly.
Don't say that.
Never
It's
tell
great.
that to a businesswoman like
It's okay.
myself.
Hey,
Don't
you know,
say that.
I know what I'm worth, but also,
You know, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
there you go.
Well, anyway, it was fantastic to meet you. And Timothy Garthrax, I expect to see your name in the papers one day.
Absolutely.
You-
There's 100 chapters that I'm trying to write, so
100,
it might be a while.
And you're
I'm on
already
15.
on chapter 15, huh?
Only.
Only? Oh,
It
no,
might
that's a
take
lot of
while, is
progress.
what I'm saying.
I hope to see you around for the next little while. Feel free to stay here as long as
course.
you are, gosh dang, slumping people. I'm excited to have you here.
Help.
I haven't gotten to know you two very well, but I hope that changes in the future. if you need anything, just ask for Ceresia Burnwillow, and
Can you
You'll
spell
have a
that,
friend in
please?
me.
I don't know. Y'all, I pull out like a little piece of paper out of my top. Like, can you say that again, please? I did not get
signature
it.
for a signature. She will write out her name, Seresia, Ceresia,
Mhm.
or Ceres for short. And then Burn Willow is just the word burn and the word willow.
Got it. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Anytime, dear. I have a job to do. I've spent too long talking to you.
Yes,
It was a fantastic
course.
time meeting you all. I'll see you around. I hope you have a fantastic stay in Piran for as long as you're here.
I'll
And
be
she will
sure to
head-
put you in my references.
Please do. I'd love a
Thank
piece
you.
of the pie, you know? And she will head back to her bar and start tending to the other people that are here.
What in the heck was that, Leslie?
I don't know. Look, something came over me. I'm just awfully curious about the post-war happenings, and I'm usually not like that. Usually, I just stay to myself. But I just have to know. I mean, especially after the talk that Addie and I had, I just want to know sort of the way of things.
Yeah. Get your information. Just have a better cover story than, no, I'm not writing. I'm not a reporter. No, I'm not doing it. I'm writing a book.
Okay,
Because
what would you
it's-
suggest?
I'm writing a book.
I would.
Just
I would.
flat out.
simple. Just simple. Because the problem is the truth gonna come out like white on rice. Okay, so we gotta keep it short, simple, sweet.
Just don't
Or-
make it too detailed to unravel.
Okay.
And let,
Okay,
and
I'm
let
taking
the,
notes.
And let the talkers be the one who talk.
Yeah, that was clever, Addie, though. You really pulled me out of that one because it was getting a little rough. Hey, you two. I turned to Talith and Medora.
What's
Is
up?
there anything? I mean, you were all out and about. We've pretty much just been here yapping away till the cows come home. Did you two learn anything about this area? Is there anything that maybe I should know about?
Well, I went to a shop and I got us some health potions.
Nice. Oh, that's
Uh,
very good.
So yeah, actually, I'll pass some of these out. Leslie, you can have one, and Addie, you can have
No, I'm
this
just
one here, and Medora, you can have this one over here.
Thank you. Then Kent, I'm trying to see if I can do this. I want to see if I can give Talith a look of being like, are we gonna tell him the rest of
Oh.
what happened? Being like,
Oh, I mean, if you look at, okay, sure. I mean, yeah, you can give me a look if you want to.
You don't need to roll for this.
I'm gonna act it out. I'm gonna act it out. Okay, I'm
And a potion for you, and a potion.
Wow, this thing must be
You-
expensive.
This
It's-
group is about as subtle as a sledgehammer.
And yet somehow none of them notice each other.
That's the
Yes,
best part.
somehow.
It's like
Oh no, go ahead, Aaron.
Do your thing.
No,
No,
go.
I'm not important. You actually role play. I was just
okay.
memeing.
Okay.
your
Yeah, so
job.
got the health potions. Found out that apparently like the rebellion is like alive and well here or something. That's kind of crazy.
that was a thing.
Well,
What did you
okay,
say?
actually, alive and well might be putting it strongly.
Whoa.
But I
How did you find that out, though? Because that's not something people just talk about.
I just
willy-nilly.
followed him.
Well, so I made a connection when we were at the edge, and then the connection led me here, and then I found out that the connection was to like the resistance. He says in like a hushed tone,
Okay, so
which
you,
I did not actually intend to, but I find greatly fascinating. In all honesty, the fact that that
Very
such a
fascinating.
resistance would be still around for one thing, but then also too
Pause.
that that somebody could kind of just stumble into it. Really,
Talith,
yeah.
you're telling me that you had a conversation,
Yeah.
at the edge,
Uh-huh.
about the resistance.
No. No, I had a conversation here about the resistance.
You made a connection with somebody
Yeah.
at the edge.
I didn't realize it was about the resistance, but yeah.
Mm.
But you're
Oh, he's
forgetting
gonna
about
strangle
the
you.
rest of the part, though. Who is that weird guy that we met? Because I was trying to chug that weird drink that other guy made me.
Are you talking about
and
are you talking about the bartender? I don't remember his
no,
name.
the other
He was
guy.
kind of weird.
He was kind of weird.
You know what? I don't care who was there, to be honest. I need you two to understand that.
What was the name?
And I quiet down. I
Derek
look
the
around.
Destroyer. That's what it was.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you
Do I
know
know-
Derek? Do you know Derek the
Derek?
Destroyer?
Oh God. Do I DM?
No, you've never heard
I
that name
don't.
before in your life.
Listen, most of these are probably going by aliases anyways, because you all need to understand if they make any connections, and if we're talking about this stuff in public like we are right now, then their heads and my head is on the
I
line.
don't know. I mean,
So
Derek the
I need-
Destroyer
listen,
is like he has like a
Talith,
public shop.
Talith.
Yeah.
Please, just try your best to stay out of it.
Stay out of what?
The resistance stuff. It's a dead end. They've won. If they find out, we're done. I'm done.
Okay, wait, hold on. Back up. I thought you said you were done. So how would the resistance lead back to you anyway? Because
That's true.
and you hear in your head, the whole world thinks you're dead. That's why, like, I thought that was like the whole point of you being okay with coming here to begin with.
Yeah, and this disguise is pretty good. He looks down at his Master Chief outfit.
Okay, look, the disguise could be better, honestly, but
Yeah, I agree.
No,
Look,
no.
I'm not
This
myself.
is exactly what Timothy Garthrax looks like.
True.
Exactly.
Okay. I think you have a point, actually. I'm just a little paranoid is all.
plus, honestly, here's the thing though. Yes, we want to keep our heads down because we don't want to stir up any trouble that we aren't involved in. However, you have to make connections to know where to avoid too.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. And I'd rather have an idea of what's going on than have no idea at all. I think that would make me crazier. So you're right. As long as, can you promise me you were careful, right? You didn't mention me.
No.
I kind
No.
of did. Well, not like all
Now,
the way.
what do you mean by that, Medora?
So
When
let's
did
just
you
say,
mention him?
well, here's the thing. While Skinny Boy over there was doing his stuff, I just say Skinny just because I just don't know how to describe you yet.
Oh, that's how he is.
While
that's
he was
accurate.
dealing with some old man sitting at a table thinking that his days were done, and I was trying to chug a drink. I think it was called the Sunset or something like that. I don't remember. All I remember is that it tasted like swamp water on
Blacks
acid. Man, it was bad. But
Ooh, that sounds
I
pretty
asked-
bad.
it was bad. But I asked the destroyer. I didn't say you specifically, but I just said what would have been his favorite drink, and I like kind of shuffling like a pocket inside of like my basically rag dress, and I pull out like the tiny little shot thing. I was like, they said this would have been your favorite whiskey, so I know that
Shut
times
up.
have been tough, but I wanted to give you something that would remind you of home in a good way. Because I know you've had a hard time bad, and I give him the whiskey as like I put a hand underneath it because most likely where I'm from, like where I've still learned, we're like to put a hand underneath it as like to give a proper gift instead of just handing it. I like put a hand underneath it, just like properly gift it to him.
Well, I'll be. He picks it up and just admires it in the light. He's like,
I think he
This-
opened the bottle fresh, so I think it's completely fresh. They said they had I think one bottle or a few left. It was kind of expensive, so I just got you a shooter. So
this iridescent liquid is, I'm convinced, from the gods themselves.
Well, that's quite a high price.
It is the most
well, I'd
pure.
love to try it with you one day.
I'm about to have some. Well, it is pretty hard, and I haven't eaten much. I'm gonna have some
maybe
this
this
evening.
evening.
Thank you so much for going and wherever you did. Hold on.
Yeah.
Somebody knew this was my favorite drink. Must have
The
been somebody who knew me well.
I don't know. I mean, it's just got the
What
bartender.
kind
His
of
name was just
connections were
Garrick the
you
Destroyer.
making, Talith? Yeah, that was Derek. Oh, I see.
That, I mean,
Must
that
be
was,
the
that was just
story.
the bartender. I mean, I don't know.
Interesting.
can I roll insight to see if this
You
man
know-
is bluffing?
you know what?
Like his face?
I want to be.
Who?
I've been watching this. I wasn't there.
I'm trying to look at
wanna
him. I'm
roll.
just like,
Who's bluffing?
I
Are you talking
also-
about
I
me
wanna-
right now?
I think
yeah.
you're
I'm not
yeah.
bluffing anything.
No, because there's definitely you didn't write down someone's
Well,
name.
Because like,
The guy's name is Garwick the Destroyer.
Yeah.
That is his
Oh,
full
Garwick
name.
the Destroyer.
well,
I'm sorry.
I know, like,
Garwick.
I'm trying
Yes,
to
that
see
does
if
say
he's-
Garwick.
I'm trying to, see if he's trying to cover
I
for
can inform you.
additional.
Garwick said that he did not know.
Yeah, yeah,
He didn't know Leslie,
but you
but
just heard of it.
he has heard stories that he chose. I believe it was Quick Shot whiskey. And because it was the hardest liquor of the finest purity, which is the only thing that would have been worthy of the greatest captain in the Resistance.
Well, is it fair to say that maybe Talith is trying to hide the fact that he like knows people who knew me? Is that
is
something
true.
happening? You know, I can't tell because it seems like
But
he's
that's-
pretending like he doesn't know anyone who knew me.
Like it was just the
little
bartender
bit.
there.
And I'm trying to see if I can roll insight to maybe if I can see with body language on Talith if he's trying to keep that information a secret. And if I can get the vibe of saying nothing more.
It seems like people are asking for a roll. Drew, could you roll me a blanket deception check?
A blanket
and then I'll have
deception.
Everyone
Okay.
else roll an insight check.
I can
Okay.
I can do these
Alright.
things.
Uh,
11.
So first, Drew, you tell me what you roll for your deception.
Well, let me tell you, I did not roll high.
Ooh.
A chance.
Oh my.
Is this like double digits?
Yes.
Not rolling high, or are we in the single digits?
Yeah, is this like a McKellep's not high, so it's like a 17?
Okay, look, I am not my brother,
When it's
okay?
below 20.
No, I only rolled a 10.
Ooh. Did anyone
good
roll below a
chance.
10?
Not me.
14.
11.
16.
Let's go. So, Talith is hiding something. You don't
There you
think
go.
that he's like hiding it? It's not like he's like, ooh, I really shouldn't tell these things. But you definitely think that there's more information that he hasn't told, and it does not have to do with the bartender. That is the information that you can glean.
Well, you're in luck because, to be honest, I don't know if I want to know too much more. I think it's fine if, you know, there's some people still thinking that this can happen underground. And I guess that's good to a degree. You know, at least they're not hopeless, maybe, but it's difficult for me to think about because, well, I don't think he's going anywhere. But you got some of this for me, which will take the edge off. And, you know, might I ask, how many of them were there from what you know?
There is
A lot.
less than 10 patrons at the bar. So like probably around somewhere between 7 to 9.
I don't know. I mean, like there's like a small handful of people, I guess.
All right.
Although it was very interesting because they all seem to like you.
They spoke of
Oh,
you
yeah?
very highly.
Oh, what kinds of
Just
things
like-
did they say?
Well, just that you were the heart of the
Yeah.
rebellion, and that at any moment you're
Uh-huh.
gonna come back and swoop in and save the day and win the war again and stuff like that. Just normal stuff.
It's casual.
Yeah. Well,
But that's
It's
just
about what I
wishful
expected.
thinking, right? Because that's what you say, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. What am I gonna do? You know, I'm just a man.
Although they did say that if we ever needed to like smuggle something or like get some information about somebody, just to hit them up, really.
I could be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's try to stay out of it for the time being, if I can suggest that much. If
I
we
mean,
have
hey,
a reason to,
I don't
revisit,
plan to
then
get
maybe.
involved in a rebellion. I got my own stuff going on.
I don't know. Could be fun.
Starting fires.
Just saying.
Having our
as
own
the-
ship would be nice, though.
That would be nice. You see a glint in his eye.
As the conversation kind of winds down, it's approaching late afternoon at this point in time, maybe 3, 4 o'clock. What else would you like to do with your day? Would you like to leave the inn? Would you like to stay here and just kind of, like laze the day away? Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Oh, well, I mean, at some point, as the conversation winds down, Talith will pose the question. So is there anything actually we want to do here in Buren? Like, I'm just kind of along for the ride currently. Because, like, while I don't entirely believe what Sir Colin said, I also kind of have nothing better to do right now. So, like, if you guys want to do something, we can go do that.
I think where this frat boy Garth looking dude, he's been adopted by a really, I'm assuming, rich person. Because if they're living in a manor, I think that might give us a good connection on who's ruling Piran right now.
And it could be good to hear about, the aftermath of the war. I don't know anything about this place. I still feel,
Yeah,
and it was my home.
Have any of you guys heard of this Kevin guy? Caven? Caven. That's a weird name.
Looks at Addie. Well, have you?
I've heard his name in passing and had some associates run into him before.
In a good
And,
way.
Wherever money's involved, no good really truly comes from it.
Ain't that right?
So you
ain't
think
that the truth?
So you think the key to his mysterious wealth is some real shady stuff?
Something like that.
Okay,
Listen,
okay.
I would love to go to the manor. Don't get me wrong. But that is not something I want to do yet. I would like to get a bit more information from sources that are not Matvey and Matvey associated about the area, about the manor, about Caven himself.
Well,
So,
I will say, I now know a guy.
yeah.
So if
Works
we want,
for you.
I mean, if we want to check back in with the underground people, I'm sure they could tell us some stuff about Sir Matvey, especially if he's been so involved with the post-war efforts. I'm sure they would know something about him.
Yeah,
All right.
no. I would like to go meet these people.
You would. I was going to ask what you might suggest. That might be different than talking to them, but I suppose. Here's what I don't want to happen. Just to be clear, I don't want to show up and then they're like, Captain Leslie's alive. We're going to do this, right?
I was gonna
That's
say,
what I'm worried
if you don't
about.
mind, Bear, I'm gonna do something here about this. and he's just gonna
What was that supposed to mean?
and he's just gonna kind of
It's like
sit
giving
there
somebody
down
mouthwash for Christmas.
and move one of the tables out of the way, and he's gonna start rummaging through his bag and start pulling out his disguise tools.
Just in the middle of this tavern.
Yeah.
Just want to go to our new room that we have.
Like,
Team subtlety.
it's gonna
out
be-
here.
We have a room. Oh, that would be perfect.
We have our room.
Yeah.
Now.
Better.
It's gonna be Master Chief in full drag, and it's gonna be glorious.
Like Tracy Patel.
Yes, and I will be strutting into that room, and they will not know who I am.
Someone call
Sure, we can get you
RuPaul.
a pair of heels.
Come on, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah. So DM, if you don't
I'm gonna be
mind,
duck walking into there.
I'm thinking, leaning into the bear aesthetic. I'm thinking like the very, very silly kind of Wolverine hair, where it's like just swooshed back into these weird, like ear fin things, right? With the mutton chops.
Yeah, the mutton chops. Little behind the scenes, that was originally a potential character design choice. Do you remember when Leslie just had huge mutton chops? I remember it very clearly. You were like, "What if he had mutton chops?"
I feel like I don't remember that.
He's gonna put
I'm
in
here for it.
he's gonna put in some temporary hair dye and just make his hair like black.
Ooh,
He's
all right.
gonna give him a bit of a nose job. It's kind of whitened up a little bit, but it's also crooked in the middle. Clearly has been broken a couple times.
Yeah.
Oddly very well kept eyebrows though.
Absolutely. Trim those puppies up.
Yeah.
I feel like you've thought about this before.
And
You're
then
working pretty quickly.
he has like a blue like well used ascot. And then he's gonna actually he's gonna keep some of the Master Chief.
Gotta keep some of it, you know.
Just like have a skirt over the bottom half of the Master
Yeah, I was
Chief.
gonna say he's gonna keep like the muscly like top is fine, but he is gonna throw like a poncho over it, and then he's gonna give him like some sort of strange kilt.
This is just Fred from the darkest timeline.
And then he's gonna take away his boots and just give him like these really overdone sandals.
As I said, this is dark timelines. Fred from Scooby Doo.
I step out of the room and say, "What do you think?" to Addie and Medora. Can you tell it's me?
You look
Tell
great.
who's who.
Exactly.
I lean over to Addie and like, he tore
go
up
along
from the
with it
floor
again.
up. Okay.
Just go with it again.
Ooh.
Just go with it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think of what my character name is. Who
Yeah.
am I?
Well, you
Garth
kind of gotta
Marvold.
go with Timothy Garthrax because that's what you told somebody.
Oh,
Well, but he
that's
doesn't.
good.
But he doesn't look like Timothy Garthrax anymore.
No,
Jonathan
Timothy
Garthrax. Timothy's elder brother.
Jonathan, Timothy goes by. Yeah, Jonathan Garthrax is maybe good.
Nickname is Johnny.
We're just
No,
gonna
I can't
build
talk like
a
this.
Johnny
whole
Gash.
family tree of people.
My name is Johnny Gash. How's that?
Johnny Gash. That's your name? I love it. Actually, I'm not laughing. That name's fantastic.
Oh my word!
All right. Is there anything we need to do before going to this underground? I look at Addie. I don't really know how these things go, but it seems like you have an idea. I think maybe you should lead the way.
Just be as unassuming as possible.
Can do.
There's looks at him.
However much you can, do less.
Okay, I'm gonna mull that over for a minute.
No
I will
mulling,
say-
just say yes.
I will say,
Okay.
Caliph is resisting with all his willpower to not just burst out laughing.
I
think
thought you were
this
gonna
is
say
beautiful.
kiss me because I look so good. I'm your creation.
I I think going in, we should let Talus go in first, because whenever the encounter happened, the destroyer dude was kind of he didn't
We'll
like
just-
me,
Oh,
but he liked Talus because he said some magic words.
darling, that's spicy. Sorry, I'm just trying a different character.
Trying to get in character for it, set the scene
You tried your best.
in space.
I'll stop now.
Shopping mall.
Talith can lead. That's great. I don't need to be the one talking to get in. I just need to talk once we're there.
Well, Addie, I really like the one thing that not a lot of people have like noticed about you, or at least have said out loud, is that I feel like you have good eyes, so you'll be able to like survey the area, make sure we're good. Because after you doing a whole arm, a hook on that boy, we'll be fine. We
We'll
will
be
be
fine.
A-okay.
Well,
We got you as a bodyguard.
Oh yeah. No, this is easy. Don't worry. We'll be fine. Just get us
Amazing.
in.
I'm loving the confidence. So 3 normal people walk down the street.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I was tempted just to make him invisible, so but I don't want to waste that.
Leslie walking with this whole set, like going
Oh.
to like, how is he walking?
How is he walking?
like, what's
I
the
like-
stance?
I know I don't have any input on this, but I will state audibly, while you're walking, you have like 3 normal people, and then there's just the sound of spurs behind like every single step.
The sandals have spurs.
Yes. You got to keep the cowboy aesthetic. He's holding his boots in his left hand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think typically I'll be honest. Typically, Leslie, it walks pretty like, I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of movement in his walk. He just walks, right? He's pretty upright.
He
He's like kind of
glides.
strong and silent. Yeah, you notice he's got a little more movement in his
Little
step
swagger?
now. He's kind of a little bit of swagger. It's not too much, just a little bit more. Seems
Let's
a little
go, girls.
relaxed. Exactly. He's got a little, there's a little hips going on maybe.
I hope that at no point in time in the rest of this campaign, Leslie actually looks like Leslie. I hope it's just Leslie in different disguises. Every single
Just
episode is
continue
just
to
new.
Every episode has Leslie art and it's
Yeah,
different.
it's a new one. It's like a Polly Pocket. You just switch out you just slide a new.
Yeah. So to
Which one
answer
am
your
I
question,
referring to?
I'd say like subtle but confident.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
smile with your eyes.
Get
Exactly.
it, runway girl.
I also look like I'm after something. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
it's Maybelline. The 4 of you head to the Hardened Scales. Once again, enter. You see the very large figure that is Garwick the Destroyer behind the counter. And he looks at you with those kind of like large brown eyes and says, "Oh, you're back. And you brought 2 more of your friends. That's
Yes,
nice."
Garwick, it is a pleasure to see you yet again. I appreciate all your kind service that you gave us this morning. I was talking with my friends a little bit, and we were hoping that you could maybe help answer a couple questions that we have about the Matvey house.
Oh, the Matvey. Assume you're asking about the Caven Matvey.
Yeah, we're staying at the Two End Inn and Tails End Inn. Thank you. And had a slight run-in with the young master, and our curiosity was piqued a bit about the Lord Matvey and what sort of things you could maybe tell us about the family.
Well, Caven's a bit of an odd fellow. He's pretty popular around these parts, but other than the public appearances that he makes and the interviews that he does for the paper, he isn't seen too much, kind of keeps to himself. takes a lot of business trips, heads out and about all the place, rounding up those kids from the war. Um, he's always given off kind of a greasy vibe, if you're asking me personally, but I don't have any real proof to back that up. I hate to judge people on physical appearances and all, but that's just kind of the idea that I get from him. His son is a whole different business. He's adopted. Garth is, well, from what I know of him, he wasn't always such a troublemaker, but ever since he got adopted, it's like he's been lashing out and trying to, it's almost like he's trying to get people to ask for money from his dad. That's the impression I got, at least. I don't think that he's really a bad kid, just kind of a, well, kind of a troublemaker.
Was he known around here before he joined the Matvey family?
Well, he's not Piran native. He got on one of the relief ships. Well, he got off of one of the relief ships here on Piran during the war, and I mean, he was part of a group of orphans that kind of roamed the streets, picking up odd jobs, selling newspapers and whatnot. He was one of the older ones from that group. So we kind of knew about him. I didn't know him personally, but I'd seen him on the street before.
Got it. All right. This adoption program agency, where's the building that it operates out of?
Well, truth be told, I never quite thought about it much. I don't think that there's a real central place for it. I know that, well, I mean, it isn't like they're gathering up in nets or anything. I kind of pick up a few here and there, try to find them as they go, and sometimes they're adopted right quick and sent to a family. And sometimes there are some foster families around that are picking them, being sent to them across the sector. I know that Matvey has some on his estate that he takes in when there isn't enough room elsewhere.
Do you know of any of these foster families?
Oh, it's mainly rich folk that have too much money to spend after they, the war ended. Are you too cool? The new ones?
They've been
Oh, yeah.
acclimated to it. They've been acclimated.
Yeah,
They're
so
fine.
you do see him like reaching under the bar real quick, and he kind of gives a shifty eye and then puts
It's
his
fine.
hands back.
I reach.
It's fine, sweetie. It's fine. They got it.
Yes, darling.
Eddie?
He looks at Addie and just kind of nods like that was the only correct response. But he'll kind of shoulder or cross his arms again, and he'll say, yeah, there's plenty of families around that are doing the adoption and stuff like that. Most of them are just nobles that were rich before the war, and they're still just as rich or richer after.
This estate, how well guarded is it?
Well, I haven't looked into it much. They have some pretty good patrol systems, I suppose. The real concern is that butler. I mean, I've been in a lot of fights. I've got a pretty good eye on myself. At least good enough that I can kind of tell who's been in quite a few fights. And he shoots a look over at Addie. And those who maybe haven't been in Mortal Kombat quite as often. And let me tell you, this fella, he's been through it. He's been in and out. I don't know all of what he's seen or what he's done, but I know he's a real dangerous guy. He's got magic. He's quick with his hands. He looks kind of sick. I don't know what that whole deal is, but I don't think it slows him down any.
All right. Well,
You planning on hitting the estate or something? Because if you need anything,
Well, actually, we were invited to visit. However, it's always nice to be prepared, just in case.
need explosives. That's a good way to be prepared.
Actually,
more in
do
the
you,
business of quiet.
I was going to say some
Mm.
lock picks would be lovely.
Yeah, we can hook you up with some lock picks. We got a couple of good kits for you. Is there anything else, or I mean, I am a shopkeep, so I suppose I should try to sell you something.
You got any potions for sleep? Any like things
Ooh,
to
a
knock
sleep
somebody out?
draught.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
I think that we've got a couple in store.
If you got potions, honestly, I'm really used to spores and mushrooms. And if you got some random mushrooms that make people pass out, I'm happy to buy them.
Unfortunately, we're fresh out of spores, you know.
Dang.
I see a point in my direction.
I'm sorry. My point was a thinking point. I'm Drew and Talith simultaneously are processing information and trying to scheme over here.
Oh, you're scheming. I'm so excited.
Do you know of any other associates of Matvey
That's a
Hmm.
good question.
that reside on Purin?
Well, off the top of my head, I don't. But
Okay.
I could ask some of the patrons down below to see if they know anyone. I know a couple of them have been, keeping at least some eye on the Matveys. You know,
Would you-
anyone
would
connected
you
with the
mind?
war. A little suspicious. Yeah, of course. I'll ask when I go down to get your orders. Is there anything else that y'all are looking for?
Not me.
I think this is a plenty fine start for us. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. I'll be back with some lockpick sets, and I don't know how much sleep draught we have, but I'll bring up what we've got. This is contraband. It is illegal. So if you get caught, don't say my name.
As he turns to leave, Talith turns to the others. So, if we want to try and find this orphanage to see if we can't snoop around a little bit, or two, even just try and talk to some associates, I do have a way that could work to find some information, but I need to get my hands on either one of those associates or one of the orphans.
Okay.
You know, I'm particularly curious about how he said that they don't really know where the orphanage is, and then
Right.
they also said that they take in orphans into their manor, which
Right.
I don't recall the barkeep mentioning that at all. That seems just a little strange to me.
Right.
That's
and
so if we can get access to an associate so you can work your magic
well, if
and
and
get
to,
in there, I think that'd be great.
and to be specific, he kind of like looks at each of you. That's fine. Okay, so I specialize in psychic magics. Specifically, I, with a little bit of time and effort, can look upon memories of people, specifically when they are not fully conscious.
Oh,
So, like I said, if we can get our hands on either somebody who's closely associated or perhaps one of the orphans, then I can try and do a little bit of digging around to see if I can't glean anything, but it would take some time. I can't
and Medora
quite pinpoint it.
asked for some sleep potion. That was clever. Yeah, I mean, I could see something like that working out. That would avoid any conversation we might need to have.
I mean, I'll let y'all have some of it, but let's just say I'm asking for my own personal things as well.
Oh,
Well, maybe
I
we can
see.
get two.
would
Otherwise, if
say-
need be, I have my own tricks and ways to do it without necessarily sleeping potion.
I would recommend we go for an associate over one of the kids.
I will say,
Uh,
my way of doing things doesn't bring any harm to anyone. So, like, if that's a concern, we don't need to worry about that. But
That is
yes,
good to know.
I agree. An
The-
associate would be more likely to know something.
The information that we will get, that you want to get, screw it.
Ooh, yes, finally. Drew is excited.
What? What? Okay, I'm normal.
A lot of those kids are being trained in a underground assassin trade.
Are you serious? Are you making a joke?
No,
Hmm.
I'm not.
Underground assassin trade. What kind of
don't-
assassins? Good assassins? Bad assassins?
I don't know. Depends on the kid, I guess. But
Interesting.
what Matt Faye's doing, it needs to stop. And that's
How do you know this?
I have my sources, and you don't need to know my sources.
Fair enough.
So if you can trust me on this, maybe we can work together to stop it. And maybe I'll explain a bit more.
You've trusted me. It's the least I could do.
For
And if-
helping anybody get out of a trade, or helping any child not go through anything as horrible as that. I'm down to help in any way that I can.
Thank you.
You hear a thump, 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 thump as
Dang.
Garwick comes back up the stairs.
And
Yes,
that's when
he asked
and
quick.
that's when he said, yes, I'll take two.
The subtleties of Leslie. Garwick comes out from behind the velvet curtain and says, "Well, I've brought 2 sets of lockpicks for you, just in case one of them ends up breaking or you end up losing it. I lose mine all the time. If I didn't have my wife, heck, I'd lose my head, even as it's on my shoulders." And we only had one more sleeping draught. One of the fellas down there already bought out most of our stock, has some kind of plan going on. So that's all I've got. Is that fine with the rest of yous?
Perfect.
Great.
I say boom.
Across the 3, the lockpicks are pretty cheap. They're made in-house. But the sleep draught is a bit of an import, so that'll cost you some. Between the 2, that'll be just a gold and 2 silver.
Yeah, I got that.
Fantastic. Pleasure doing business with you. By the way, did you give him your name, Talith?
I don't think you ever did.
Did you
I
give
think-
him a name?
I think I did give him my name. No, I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did because
No,
I think I gave my name when I was talking to the captain, but not when I.
Yeah.
Also, you were going under the guise of like you were working for this delivery company. So if there's any,
Under
maybe
the
you said you were with
guise?
that.
Under the
Okay,
guise.
Legitimate delivery
Grant-
business.
Grant genuinely didn't know that. I thought you were making that up. So,
I-
like, now I know it's real. Which is so funny.
Here, he pulls out his business card that does exist. Everyone sees it.
Leslie thinks it's a fake. Leslie thinks it's all fake.
He's like, wow, this is crazy how much he prepared beforehand. I wish I could do that.
Which does have the name Jacob Laster on it.
Jacob Lassiter.
You smell like beef and cheese. You're not the real delivery man.
What?
That's never mind. It's from something.
He'll take your card and he'll say, "Thank you, I forgot to get your name the last time. While we're talking about your business, I was wondering if you could run some goods for me."
Oh, okay. What do you got?
I need you to cart some highly volatile explosives to a couple of different locations on the moon, if that would be all right.
Okay.
We pay you well.
Sure. Yeah. What are we talking here?
Well, there will be 6 delivery points, specifically on Piran, 1 at each pole, and then 4 distributed across the prime meridian. Couple of key points here and there. I can give you the actual coordinates when the shipment is out. You know, don't want to chance anything getting leaked or anything like that.
I understand. Yeah, I'm sure we could arrange that.
Fantastic. I'll make sure to contact you on this funny little card you gave me. It's Jacob Lassiter. Is that how you pronounce it?
Jacob Laster.
Laster.
Yes, with the
Like
Safax.
luster, but with an A.
Yes, with the Safax Trading Company. If you look in the backside there's actually instructions as to how you can contact me.
Wow, there's even one for explicitly illegal business. That's so convenient. Well, you know, assuming that this deal all goes through, I'll even cut you a deal on this purchase. It'll just be the 1 gold. Wipe the 2 silver off.
Nice. Game back 2 silver.
Great.
Let's go.
And of course, there will be more payments with it. You know, I know you're kind of going out of your way to make sure that Piran runs red with the blood of those that stole from it.
Happy to do business. All right.
I can't help but
and did
ask.
you happen to get any names of those associates by chance?
Oh, of course. I didn't forget to ask him. I forgot to told you. The only friend of Matt Vey here, who's here on Piran at the moment, is a certain Ferdo Langley. It's spelled with an X. Firdous. And then Langley is spelled how it sounds.
Nice. Love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, he's a long-time associate of the Matt Veys. Supposedly, they've been friends since they were in business college together, getting into all sorts of trouble. One of the guys down there has a hit out on Ferdo at the moment. So he's I suggest talking to him quick before someone gets to him, if you know what I mean.
So might you have any suggestion as to where to start?
Well, the Langley Estate, it's just across the way.
Lovely.
Isn't that perfect?
Oh,
I can give you directions on this here map. I'll mark it on your map for you.
A new location has appeared on your map.
Yeah. The settlements need your help.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes my curiosity gets the best of me.
Of course, and could I get a name from you, stranger? I keep forgetting to ask people.
Of course, Johnny Gash with the
Johnny
G.
Gash.
Medora turns away, just like trying to keep a straight face.
Famous for the hit song Ring of Tires.
Oh, I think I've heard of you. You're also known as the Man in Gray?
Yep, that's me. Now, if you don't mind me asking, where might these explosives be being used for? What might they be
their
being used for?
purposes?
Yeah.
Well, we're planning to strike some major outposts of the government that have been placed around Piran.
Wow. That's a lot. That's some big plans there.
Yep.
Wow.
We're gonna blow those scums sky high.
And you've come up with strategy? A lot of strategy for this?
Mainly just a bunch of bombs.
All right. All right. Well, I sure hope that's effective. It sounds very tactical.
Truth be told, most of the strategists are locked up right now, and a lot of the rebellion mainly consists of, a lot of the rebellion mainly consists of just a bunch of the muscle anymore. So bombs is what we've got. Bombs,
All right.
swords, and guns.
Well, good luck.
Well, we'll need it.
Well, you should get going. Leslie's sweating.
You see the dye just coming out of his hair.
Oh no, the dye is drinking.
Yeah, he's sweating black.
Oh god.
If you are all done here, where would you like to go?
It'd be good to scope out the Langley.
The
estate.
Fantastic.
Is there, so as we start to make our way, so if you guys want to, I mean, I don't know how capable everyone within the four of us are at stealth and sabotage and infiltration and gathering intel, but it's kind of my thing. So like, if you want me to, I can kind of take charge on like scoping the place out, unless we just want to like walk up to the front door and talk to them, in which case like technically any of us could do that.
I would like to join you on that stealth mission.
Nice. I like it.
That is also my thing. And
So,
You know,
if
I
you
have a
Bear, yeah.
well, I was just gonna say, I'm a bit rusty, but I've been on many missions similar to this one. Maybe a little more gunfight involved. So
we're trying
I
to
don't
avoid
know
that.
if being discreet is the best, but being in, being out, getting it done. That's I can
suppose
be there for that.
other question would be, do we want to try to be civil with Sir Langley, or would we rather just try and find him, like throw him into a closet and interrogate him? I say in a very hushed tone as we're walking down the street.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you know,
say, let me have a chance with something I have in mind.
Okay.
I'm down.
It's not,
not
going to
gonna
be
die, is he?
interrogation. He's not going to die. He might be very
Friendly?
he'll love me. He'll love to death. We'll just say that.
Ooh.
hey yo.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then perhaps what we could do then is, once we get there, the two of us, Addie and I, can kind of scope the place out, try and get an understanding of what we're looking at, and then we can kind of coordinate with you two as to how best you guys can get to him, and then we'll meet up with you once that happens.
Yes. Well, as a fallback, and while we're walking, I take out the extra sleeping draught. I say that word so wrong. Draught. I don't know which one.
I think you nailed it.
Draught, you're good.
I take out that one bottle. I pop it open, and I take out another jar that I have, and I pour half of it into that jar.
Oh.
Here's the other half of it, just in case, as a fall safe.
Cool.
Gotta be nice about it. Just in case. Bear, are you going with me? Trying to figure this out? Or are you still going with them?
I'll go with you. I'll make sure that things don't go awry. I'll just keep an
stay in
eye,
the back.
stay back a bit.
Stay in the back.
and then
I got this.
If anything goes wrong with you two and we catch wind of it, then I'll be there as quick as I can. I'll play support. I'll do whatever needs to happen.
As we assume, I assume DM at this point kind of get close to like where the estate actually is.
Absolutely.
Talith will look at Bear and so, no, actually, no, you don't like my snake. And then he will pass Sirius on to Medora.
I put my hand like this. I'm like,
Yeah. And he'll like wrap
Awesome.
himself around your neck like a scarf. If anything were to happen
Just
to
so lit.
us, Sirius will try and let you guys know and get you
Kinda
guys
put his
to where
little
we're
head.
at. Yeah. Anyway, DM, I guess, what do we see?
Yes, you approach the Langley estate. It is a very classic, like rich, kind of like European-esque mansion. It has the wrought iron fence on the outside, a big line of trees, an open lawn, which, mind you, lawns were originally invented as a way to show your wealth because you had land that you weren't growing food on. They have a very well manicured lawn all the way up to the front. The grass is green. The building is like kind of a white marble and stone. It looks like a kind of a 2-story mansion, has pillars on the outside. Off of a, I'll have who said that they were scoping out? Was that Drew? I'll have Drew and Addie, but between the two of you, I suppose I should say Addie and Talith. One of you roll a check with advantage. It'll be an investigation check to kind of scout it out.
Go for it. You do that.
And DM, as they get close, and I don't know if they're doing that right now, but just for your knowledge, as they get close, I will do my best to hang back a bit and get a more broader view of the situation, in case that is relevant later.
A
Absolutely.
17, DM.
A 17. Tactically, from the things that you just kind of scoping it out, if you're looking to infiltrate from a distance, the biggest concern that you have is there isn't a lot of cover on the drive up to the mansion. Like the road that leads it and the lawn doesn't have any trees on it. There isn't really a whole lot of cover for you to dart between. Like there's not a bunch of trees or anything like that. Once you get closer to the mansion, there are more like shrubbery. You can see off in the distance, it looks like something of kind of like a rose garden maze that has been built in the back. Very, very refined, like carved shrubbery statues and stuff like that. You think perhaps a good option for Leslie would be the trees are like these heavy fir trees that if he were to climb, he would be able to have a pretty good vantage point from above. Just as kind of a scouting position. You notice that there aren't a lot of guards that are patrolling, but that might just be because it's still early in the evening at this point in time. So it might increase as night comes. At the moment, you only see 2 or 3 kind of scouting the grounds, one of which does have a canine with them.
And do they have like a standard uniform?
Yes, they do. It is kind of just kind of a blue kind of suit jacket, almost very military form. Has some golden tassels on the right shoulder. Very custom. It has the emblem of the Langleys,
Okay.
which appears to be some form of mastiff.
And you said one canine or multiple?
Just one canine with the guards. Medora, I saw you raise your hand quickly.
Well, I was trying to think. I think I answered my question. I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm
Talent.
scheming.
Okay.
Talith.
Yeah.
While we're all like in a little group, right, before we really head out, we're just scoping the situation. Talith.
Yeah.
This is your mission, all right? You've taken leadership. You tell us whatever you think is best for us to do, and we'll follow suit, all right?
Well,
Unless, for whatever reason, it's best if we break those rules, but you
Well,
let me
first
know what I
question-
do, and I will do it to the best of my ability.
my first question actually is for you guys in regards to what talents we all possess. I know we've spoken to some degree. Obviously, I do magic. Medora seems to do some magic. you are good with that fire stick on your back, and Addie hits things really good. Main question is this. One, Medora, you seem to do stuff with plants and stuff. Do you do anything with animals as well?
I dabble here and there, but it's a different way that I can chat with animals.
Can you turn into animals?
No.
No. Okay. Good to know.
I didn't have time to learn that.
So the main challenge right now is going to be making sure we don't run into the guard with the dog, because that will sniff us out pretty quick. Bear, there does seem to be a good vantage point where you can look out for us towards the back, and some of the larger trees if you see back there. If that can be perhaps our entry point and our exit point, we can try and get in. You can keep an eye out for us, and we can try and make our way back out that way. I think, DM, did I see, is there like a back door?
Yes,
place?
there is both a front door. You could assume that there is back door. There's also it looks to be like a kitchen entrance and a door that is also for like deliveries.
Okay. I have a couple tricks that can allow us to get closer. However, I do think it best to wait for the rest of nightfall to break.
I agree.
Since there's very little cover for us to hide behind, especially for Addie and I, if we're trying to get close first. If need be, I do have the ability to turn at least one of us invisible, and I can change my own appearance to match perhaps the look of the guards, so we can rely on that.
I might have something that can distract the dog. Depending on how trained the dog is, I could try.
Okay.
There's something up my sleeve.
And the last thing I can try and do, if need be, would be to perhaps charm the guards. That way they'd be a little friendlier with us. Now, that might not guarantee that they would let us in by any means. But I could at least guarantee that they don't try and kill us on sight.
And if they're not friendly, let's do our best not to resort to lethal attempts. You know, let's try to maybe get rid of the problem, but not permanently, if you know what I'm saying. I will be taking a look at the trees, and I'll do whatever I can from there if need be. But I am not trigger happy, and I will not use it if I don't have to.
Mandora, that charm you were talking about earlier, how much time do you need for that?
Let's see. Probably I have to be with what I want to use to, if we're talking about the dog, I would need to find something first before I can use that charm. Or to make it per se.
And the charm you're talking about specifically for Langley, you mentioned something.
Oh. On me. It's gonna be on me. Ain't gonna be nothing with magic. Let's just say, I'm assuming this man is like most men that I've had in my life.
Medora's just gonna start throwing it
to.
She's just gonna straight up seduce him. Okay, sure. Yeah,
I've
all
right. Well, we had a player ask me to roll seduction, and I am so prepared.
Okay.
Well,
Addie,
if everybody feels confident, then there's no better time than now.
Oh, we're waiting for nightfall.
Well, I was going to say, actually, I think we want to wait until for like a couple more hours. Actually,
there's no better time than now, except
for some
any
reason
other time.
For some reason, I
like
thought it was
3 or 4
already.
Hours.
All right.
Yes,
then.
Medora.
Once night falls, assuming, this is a big assumption, that this estate was most likely built on some kind of either maybe leftover battleground or like just overall people died.
There's a cemetery on the estate.
Let's go.
Okay. I want to see.
It's for the Langleys. They have their own cemetery.
I don't know if this would be a role or not. Like, I don't know. I want to see if there's any like. I'm still trying to get this correct. For any spirits that are still
If you are attempting to use your lingering spirits ability,
I'm
is that
attempting
what
to
you're
use
asking for?
either lingering spirits or lingering spirits to possibly do a straw doll if I'm doing this correctly.
If your straw doll ability is just an ability that you have, so most likely,
Perfect.
like you can just use straw doll at any time
Nice.
that the game says that you can. If
Oh, that
you are
sounds
looking
freaky.
for lingering spirits, you're going to have to find a body. Which you could
Got it.
if you want to dig up the Langley graves, then I will not stop you from this.
Do it.
So DM, how easily can we access said woods that are towards the back of the estate?
Well, so the woods are actually on the outside of the estate. There's still that barren ground that leads up closer to it.
Right.
It's like a quarter to a half mile until you actually reach like the actual estate, and there's that barren ground that you have to cross.
But we can pretty easily access where the trees are.
Yes, the trees are just on the outside perimeter. So getting up to the wall, very easy.
We have rope, right?
Of course.
Do we have rope? Are you kidding me?
I'm pretty sure it comes in
What
like
kind of
every
question is
pack.
That.
Yeah.
Well, hey, just need to double check because I feel like I remember somebody in our first campaign saying they needed rope, but we didn't have rope.
I don't know
50
if
feet of it right here.
absolutely.
Now, DM,
I know for a fact that Addie has rope because that is absolutely something that Addie would have.
Yes.
I also have rope.
let's see.
Yeah.
Features and traits.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need rope, you can ask
Okay,
me
so
too.
DM,
Don't worry.
using my climbing speed that I have, I could fairly easily get up and over the wall and allow for a rope to be set up
What is
to
your
make it.
climbing speed?
My climbing,
Bro is
well,
lead climbing right
I
now.
have a climbing speed because reasons.
Also, I can tell you this is a fun Dungeons and Dragons question. Everyone has a climbing speed. It's
Like,
equal
how is
to
yours so
half.
big?
Yeah, it's equal to half of your movement, unless you have things that say that you can climb faster, which Drew does.
Yes, I have a
15
climbing
feet in
climbing
6
speed of
seconds?
35.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a climbing speed of 30. Or we know I have a 15. Wait, what the?
Yep. It's half your movement.
2.5 feet per
so-
second. That's pretty fast to climb a
Vampires at
wall.
Twilight.
Unless it's Chaucy, then
Unless
it's
it's
probably
Chaucy.
a quarter speed.
But yeah, so I could pretty easily get over the wall and lower a rope if that will help also. So if we do that and then we do that, so then if I get over there and I'm trying to do that and then
This
so
is
then we
exactly
need
what I
that.
imagine it sounds like whenever Drew is taking his turn in combat.
They carry the one.
Just like mentally, he's like, I was
Bring it
17.
closer.
And then I roll a d8 here. And that's
Okay.
vulnerable.
So in all likelihood, since actually, if Bear's gonna stay out and keep watch for us, actually, Medora, it makes more sense for Medora to come in with us. Then I'm gonna have to transfer Sirius over to him. Okay, that's fine. And then, okay, great. Okay, no, I got this. Yeah, this is great.
What if you left Melody with him and brought Sirius with you?
Well, so here's the thing. Melody is actually also gonna stay outside, keeping a bird's eye view.
Gotcha.
But
But it's
Where did you get that trap set?
I carry it with me all the time.
so both of my familiars, Sirius is my familiar. Melody actually belongs to somebody else. However, I am able to temporarily connect with Melody. However, that means I lose some of my connection with Sirius. So
You stole someone else's bird?
actually, it was a gift. And so, anyway, all that to say, to me, it feels like in this scenario, it'd be better if I have a stronger connection with Melody. That way she can warn us while we're inside if something fishy starts to happen.
All right.
Multiple hands have been raised.
This is Leslie raising his hand. I'm role playing. It's not for the DM.
I'm also technically raising my hand and role playing, so I'm just like,
Oh, both Medora and Leslie raised their hands
Like-
at the same time. All right, Talith, you got to choose. You got to pick.
Oh, that's for me.
Teacher, they're both raising their hands in game.
Bear, what's up?
Medora will remember this.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I have.
well, I was wondering, is there any way you can, with your mind powers, communicate with us while you're doing your stuff, or vice versa,
as
so
long
that
as-
if
as
anything
long
goes
as I'm-
awry, you know?
Well, so here's the thing. Yes, however, I have a very limited range on that.
Oh,
So for everyone other than you,
So
But then going off of that, can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
connect to other familiars?
I mean, I've never tried. Do you have a familiar?
I might.
what? You got an animal?
Hello?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Uh,
New things.
we
New
have
things. Okay. Tal flips to a new page in his notebook. Okay. So if you also
Thought
have
this
a
changes
familiar,
everything.
that would actually make things significantly easier potentially because you could more easily communicate with your own familiar while they are with Bear. And then I can keep Sirius on me and then have Melody still in the air. And then I can communicate easily with the three of us using my message, which means that then you can communicate to your familiar who could then easily connect and communicate with Bear. Bear, how good are you talking to animals?
I mean, if they talk to me, do they know common?
most familiars understand the languages of the person who summons them, but they cannot speak.
It depends if they're speaking common. If they're speaking whatever language that is their animal language, I'm not gonna know what they're saying. You know.
No.
Also, Addie, fess up. Do you have a familiar?
Hell no.
Pulls out sword.
All right.
Like,
do I.
my dagger, my hatchet.
I'm very familiar with it.
I don't understand animals unless they're speaking my language, but I don't know what familiars
I would
can
like
or
to-
cannot do.
I really hope that we get a Lassie moment though, with Leslie's like, "What?
Talith is in the
Talith
well.
is stuck in
Yeah.
the well."
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. So
Oh, Medora's dead? Wow.
okay.
No.
So then Medora, what familiar can you summon?
All right.
Oh, I'm
give
so
me a second.
excited.
While, like, when he asked that, I like go, all right. I sit down cross-legged. I say that so weird. Crisscross applesauce.
Yeah.
And you immediately feel her like presence change. Her eyes roll back, and all of a sudden she goes Rasha, and like just goes into like a whole different language. Her eyes roll back, a little bit of black ooze starts coming out of her eyes. The tips of her fingers and toes originally were kind of relatively black. They kind of get more and more almost necrotic. And almost like just out of nowhere, this random like puff of dark green smoke comes out, and a cute little albino crocodile comes crawling out. Yes. Hey Roy, how you doing, baby? And like I pet him, and this is Roy.
Hi, Roy.
He's gonna be fine. He's really shy, so don't worry. And he's just right behind my feet. It's gonna be okay, Bear. It's gonna be okay. But
And you're
It-
feeling okay? You're feeling okay?
I'll be okay. It's still kind of hard getting used to because I tried to learn this really quickly. But
Okay. So
he's here.
Yeah, and you summoned the lurker form, correct? You have 3 forms. You have preserver, striker, and lurker.
Yeah, where he is right now, he'd be a lurker.
Yeah. Roy is the size of a cat.
Oh,
Baby, it will baby crocodile. Woo, baby.
Oh my
just a little
God.
tiny crocodile.
and Roy, he seems nice.
He don't bite.
Okay.
He's vegetarian somehow.
Hello there, Roy. Hi.
You don't speak, buddy. Oh, he's nervous. He's so shy.
Yeah, me
We've
too,
just
me
now
too.
connected. So you.
I'm gonna have to look up what crocodiles sound like.
They go. How was
So-
that?
Oh yeah, that actually wasn't bad. Thinking now,
Thank you.
now I remember what crocodiles sound like.
Oh, that was like a hiss where it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they do. They make that like deep throat rasp, like whisper
Ugh.
noise,
Why'd you
mhm.
say it like that?
because that's the sound that it is. It's where the sound
All right,
originates from.
Well, we got 3 little companions with us now. That's good. Our numbers are growing. There was 4, and now there's 7. We've almost doubled in size. And Roy, I can tell he's got some fight in him, which is great.
Sure.
So what's Roy gonna be doing again? You don't have to re-explain it. That's just where I'm at.
plan for a long time.
That's just where I'm at, all right? You don't have
Let's
to.
just
All
say-
I know is that I have to go to the trees, and that's good enough for me.
He's going to communicate with me and will help a little bit with the stealthiness if needed.
Fantastic. I love this plan. Talith, you're a mastermind. I trust you
I don't
wholeheartedly.
know. I mean, this is pretty slapstick, but sure.
If only we had a ship.
I mean, we can go
Keep
back
dreaming.
and talk to the smugglers.
Hmm. Is it almost nightfall?
Yes, it is absolutely it is.
The DM.
It
the DM was
absolutely
like,
is.
yes, it's nightfall. It's nightfall.
You can't do this anymore. No more talking.
I'm like,
I
I
don't
can't
know
tell
what
if you're
that
waiting for
is.
me to tell you that it's like midnight, or if you could just ask. Like
We're
we
waiting
wait
for the
till
witching
midnight.
hour, 3 a.m., so that we can dig up bodies and Medora can do all that stuff.
Yeah, you
Well-
wait for 2 a.m., which is statistically the most optimal for when people will be the most asleep.
Nice.
Really? Interesting.
I don't know if that's true. That was a fact that I made up. But yeah, night has fallen. I would say that the moon has risen. There are multiple moons. So multiple moons have risen. Specifically, like 12 of them.
All right. Well,
One of those is my home.
So, DM,
Yeah.
as we kind of sit in the periphery, Talith will be looking through the eyes of Melody, kind of high up in the sky, looking down at where all the guards are, and
Mhm.
basically he's just waiting for basically the biggest gap between the patrols to then start making their approach
Fantastic.
as quickly and quietly as they can.
I'll have you just roll an intelligence check for me to see if you can time, kind of reason out their shift change and everything like that.
Can I? Well, I
Intelligence.
probably can't. I probably can't assist.
I'll allow you to assist. Like
'cause
you'll be.
I have kind of a bird's eye
Are you
view a little
gonna?
bit
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
up in the tree.
Yeah, and I can go.
Yeah. Yeah, you.
Like, I can do
Uh,
like all that stuff. Yeah.
16 DM, straight intelligence.
And did you roll that with advantage?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. You have Leslie scoping out literally through the scope of his rifle, getting a clearer view of things. You think that you have their pattern pretty well down. That assume that you can dash fast enough across the yard, you should be able to avoid their vision. You
Nice.
haven't noticed anyone watching from the like balconies or the terraces of the mansion, so you should be good on that front.
Okay.
sweet.
So and he'll keep Sirius on him. And then I guess we're just gonna go for it.
Make a dash.
Sounds good. For those of you who are running across the yard, which I believe is Talith, Addie, Medora,
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll a group stealth check.
Oh,
I will also
Ooh, that's
allow
so cool.
athletics for speed.
I'm so excited that we're rolling dice. We're here. This is
say athletics.
this is sort of a heist. Not really, but it feels like it. You know,
No,
secret mission. We're rolling dice.
Yeah, it's very Mission Impossible.
I'm super jazzed about this. I'm just in the tree, but
Yeah.
this is good.
Oh man, you super should have bought a silencer. You just sniped
Me?
That would have
Yes.
actually been a brilliant idea. I did not think that the Smugglers Guild would have one, but they probably would.
Ah,
Well, they are smugglers, so
yeah.
you know.
It's illegal, so they have it.
It's okay. Leslie doesn't use it frequently anyway.
They also have an exploding silencer. they do a lot of things with explosives.
Clearly.
What are our rolls looking like for the dashers?
So I
18
could
for me.
do a-
Yeah,
I could do
you can do athletics.
22.
22.
Nice.
22, 18. Medora, how are we looking?
So I think I'm a 15.
15. Okay. The three of you climb to the top of the wall, leaving Leslie in the tree to kind of watch your route. You all hit the ground. Addie hits the ground sprinting. There is no like pause. She like hits, rolls.
This is kind of what she does.
Exactly. Like
Dang.
this is not the first time that you've infiltrated someone's mansion.
No.
It probably won't be the last time.
No.
Medora and Talith. God, I just struggle with names
You're
so
doing
much.
great. You're doing great,
Um,
sweetheart.
Rather than sprinting, you take a much more cautious approach, staying low to the ground, kind of moving with the shadows of the clouds overhead. Addie, you will reach the kind of boundary line. Which direction were you entering from? Was it from the like front gate? Was it kind of to the east where the like rose maze is? Or are you kind of going towards the service entrance?
I would say probably the rose maze because that would give
Okay.
us the most cover and we can easily navigate that because I have a bird in the air.
Absolutely.
Roo.
So Addie, you will reach the maze first. The other two are quickly behind. Are you just going to? Are you going to wait for them? Or are you going to kind of go your own?
I'm gonna keep moving, but I do once I get to the maze, I want to approach with a bit of caution. Just
Absolutely.
kind of see if there's anything around, anything about the rose maze before I decide to enter. If I can hear any
Ooh.
noises, if I know anyone's lurking, anything I cannot see.
Yeah. Just roll a perception check for me.
That is 14.
14. Upon closer look, what you do notice is that the rose maze is gorgeous. The plants are vibrant and lively and I mean very, very well maintained, very lush. You don't sense any like ill will or like murderous intent anywhere in the maze. And
Nice.
Talith, you would also know no one is currently walking through the maze at this point in time. So
Cool.
in terms of from bird's eye view and from Addie, you don't think that there's going to be anyone. You would know that the person who would cross your path next is the guard with the dog.
Okay. We're all kind of convened at this point?
Yeah, you think that you could make it to the mansion first. The main problem is the dog.
Right.
All right.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to send Melody that direction and kind of have her swoop down and kind of distract the dog.
Okay.
Still obviously keeping high up, high enough that the dog can't like jump up and get her, but try and distract the dog just enough to just make sure that we can easily make it
Absolutely.
through without the dog, noticing.
Can I have Melody roll a performance check?
Sure. Yeah, I
She
would
better
love.
ace it.
I would love nothing more, DM, than to allow this roll.
If you crit, the dance scene from Rio will occur.
Can we
Okay.
like pick up a flower, one of the really pretty flowers?
Yeah.
She's holding it in her mouth.
Birds
emerge from the trees.
Okay,
Spotlights out of nowhere.
it's a 16 on die, DM.
Okay, 16 on
Um,
die. You don't have Melody's performance stat?
Uh,
Just hidden around?
I don't actually.
Embarrassing.
Let's assume that because it's a bird, it doesn't have an incredibly high charisma /
Well-
proficiency in performance.
Melody seems like a 3 on the Enneagram, and the 3 is the performer. So I think that is
Proficiency,
indication
actually.
that proficiency
Grant,
probably in performance.
Roll a d20 and tell me odds or evens.
Alrighty, let's
Oh,
go with
gosh.
odds. I rolled a 6.
Well, okay.
Dang.
So you said odds, and then you still rolled the die. I meant for you to tell me what the die you rolled was.
Oh, I have to re-roll it. I have to re-roll it.
Okay.
It's a 19.
Okay. Well, you should have stuck with the 6 because it was.
Well,
supposed to
that
be even.
was my first
It turns
roll.
out that Melody isn't a 2 on the Enneagram.
A 3. So that means that she's a 3, which is what I said.
So
You're a
DM.
3 or whatever. I don't know, guys.
Darn.
So I believe technically
Probably a
she would
7.
be technically her stat block would be a raven, which would be a 14 total.
Perfect. Yeah. You think that the dog is relatively distracted. It's hard to tell because it's a dog.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
But you think at least that you've bought yourself time.
Sure. And then yeah, as that happens, he'll be like, okay, go.
Absolutely.
Is there? I don't think there is. There really isn't a way for me to communicate well to them, right?
You can talk to the crocodile.
Yes.
Oh yes.
If Roy is in the tree with you, just kind of hanging loosely over the edge.
And he's kind of shy too. He's like,
Yeah.
All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like, hey Roy, you understand me, right?
Roy looks up at you.
Looks at me. Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. Please let them know. And then I'm going to just like take a look at the above ground situation, look where the shadows are kind of falling so it's easier for me to see. And I'm going to try to kind of tell them like, okay, stick to the left or like hug that wall, stuff like that as they move through to help them navigate and not be seen by like the dog and the person.
Absolutely. Are you looking through, are you taking a couple seconds every here and now to like look through Roy's eyes, Medora?
yes. And most
Oh.
likely what is happening is that I'm for a brief second going blind.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Where I'm like,
If-
it's just like,
Since Talith would know, like, in order for her to do that, like, she loses her senses, he actually would be guiding her, help guiding her through in those moments.
oh.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Addie'll stay ahead and just kind of keep
Yeah.
an eye on the ground.
Take
Yeah.
point.
I will say, since Addie has begun to lead at this point, Sirius actually will be on her.
Fantastic. You get pretty easily to the mansion at this point in time. You think that you've bought enough time for the guard that you can easily get into the mansion and probably do some stuff before the dog will reach your tracks. How would you like to enter? Currently on this side, there is the cook's entrance, and there's also a terrace above you that leads into the second floor, probably one of maybe a bedroom. You can't tell if it's a guest bedroom, master bedroom, or anything like that.
I will.
Is there any are there any lights on in the cook's entrance towards the kitchen?
Oh, the cook's entrance, yes, because they are already preparing the next day's
Right.
meals.
Okay.
Right, that was my concern.
Since we made it back over here at this point, I will tell Melody to come over to us, and she will actually fly down and kind of just perch on the balcony and just kind of look in through some of the windows. And I will take a moment to kind of look and see what I see through her eyes.
Fantastic. Can you roll either perception or investigation? It's up to you.
I love Melody doing like reconnaissance, like this cute little bird just like landing on the window, like looking in.
Ooh,
It's
real,
so
real
cute.
bad,
Periscopes up.
Oh no.
real bad. 9.
Ooh, a
First
9.
single digit.
Let's
Dang.
go. This is a monumental moment. Write it down, everybody. Timestamps.
Whoa.
Timestamps.
Whoa.
Timestamps.
What number did you roll?
A
It's
2.
like and it's still a 9?
+7?
Criminy.
At level
well, you
2?
know, it is an intelligence check. You know,
Yeah.
I'll give it to
He's
him.
quite
He's a
smart.
wizard. Probably has a +5. What a loser.
God, Talith is so hot and good at rolling.
God dang, Drew, and your attractiveness and skill.
I hate him.
Yeah,
I'm just
Melody
kidding.
lands. Melody lands on the kind of windowsill, pops her head up. Unfortunately, there are curtains,
Okay, sure. Yeah, fair.
so the little you can see through the gap. You think it's probably a bedroom of some sort.
Yeah, and the balcony, like, does it? It has, like I said, like double doors.
Yes, it is a kind of they are a swinging outwards door that would swing towards you on the terrace.
Okay.
All right, here's what I propose.
All
I can
yours.
get up there, and I let Sirius into the door, and you can look inside of the room, because I'm assuming that's how this whole familiars thing works.
DM, could I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Since
And-
we have never gone over, this has completely skipped my mind, the actual rules for you having kind of two familiars.
Yeah, that's
Let's
what I was
say-
getting at.
Let's say that you can only switch between them once per long rest.
Okay.
So
Okay.
once you switch to Sirius, you won't be able to switch back to Melody.
Okay.
Let me be your melody, Talith.
That's kind of what I was
We have
thinking.
an eye in the sky.
That's kind of what I was thinking. We've made it this far. If we need to, we can always make a mad dash out of here.
Absolutely.
I'll make your dreams come true, baby.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that then. I will just, before I make the switch, I'll just tell Melody to go fly back to Bear.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I'll make the switch to Sirius.
Fantastic. Sirius mode has been activated.
Sirius mode
Go.
activated.
Dun
Hey.
dun.
Hey, Gracie,
Hey.
can you make an athletics check to climb the building?
I can. Yes, I can. Oh,
Let's go.
me and my
For
plus
4
6
episodes,
athletics.
I've asked nothing but like wisdom and intelligence
I would
checks.
love
This
to.
is her time to shine.
I have been waiting to ask
Oh
for
my
dexterity and strength
gosh,
checks, and
this
you
is
best believe I'm going to use them.
25.
25.
Oh!
Let me tell you.
Nice.
You find
Get
a
me
nice
up here.
You find a nice jug, 4 fingers deep in the crimp. You mantle it easy.
Let's go.
You just pure upper body strength. Like there's no fancy holds or anything. You just like bah bah, whew, and you just kind of throw yourself gently over the edge. Not
Does
even a crumble.
Does like a
Oh,
muscle up handstand for no
Absolutely.
reason on the ledge.
It's pure finesse.
Oh yeah.
It is for the rest of you watching. It is actually relatively elegant. You do sense perhaps a history of dance in these movements. But you kind of vault over the edge of this railing, cat-like lithe in your movements. And gently, Sirius will slither off of your arm onto the terrace. As I'm assuming, I should say the terrace door is locked. Would you like to use your lock picks?
I would love to use the lock picks.
It will be a dexterity check.
Awesome.
Assuming that you are proficient in lock picks, you can add your proficiency to that.
Awesome.
Addie, I picture like we haven't seen Addie smile once, and Addie's finally smiling.
This
Smart.
is
Yeah,
like
Addie-
she's finally like in her element. This is like her bread and butter. She
Yeah.
just, she always works alone. This isn't something people know.
I do like to imagine like she's somewhat humming just very quietly to herself while picking the locks, and Talith looking through Sirius's senses, being like, "Who is this person right now?"
You just hear it go. Someone's gonna die tonight.
To see who it is. So I rolled a 19. I don't have a proficiency in
That's
lockpicks
fine.
as far as I'm aware.
This is a rich person house.
I feel
The
like
locks
she
are
would be
well
good at
oiled.
it, but like it's not something I
Yeah, you're not a
sought
rogue.
out. Yeah, no, she's not. But that's including my dex modifier. That
Yeah.
would be a 21.
Easy.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you put those lock picks in. The little skill check comes up. Nail it. You crack the door open just a smidge, just a snake-like smidge. As I'm assuming Sirius will slither in and look around.
Yep.
Okay. Sirius kind of periscopes up,
Yeah.
gives a look around the room. You do think that you're looking into the master bedroom.
Oh, okay.
There is a king-sized bed that is that currently appears to have two forms lying in it.
Okay. And any noise, just the sound of like just quiet breathing in the room.
Just the sound of people sleeping.
Looking across the way, does he see the door leading out of here?
Yes.
Okay. He'll just slither over there and kind of get real close. Is there anything that I hear just outside the door?
Make a perception check for me.
I would love nothing more, DM.
I should have thought about wife or partner or whatever. Dang.
Me too.
That's not good.
No, it's fine.
Just
No,
Gotta
it's
be a
it's
loser who lives
it's
alone.
legitimately totally fine. Perception check. 17.
17. I should real quick. I'm not prepared.
We're ready, huh?
whoop, whoop.
Also, snakes are most sensitive to lower frequencies and may hear sounds as muffled, for the record.
Thank you, Grant.
Are you trying
Thank you.
to nerf us?
No, I just like the idea of
Trying.
Aaron being like, and of course
Just
we
make it
know
out,
what it
guys.
means, but yeah.
You said it
Good
was
luck.
a 17?
Correct.
Question. I'll just use your passive perception unless Sirius's is for some reason higher.
I don't
Er,
believe so.
Okay.
Would you like to know about snake ear anatomy?
No, actually.
Oh, because I could tell you.
I know you could, Grant, but I'm in the middle of trying to run a game here. So
Okay, maybe after.
So
Maybe
okay,
after.
so
after.
the
you can
main
save it for next week's Grant's fun fact.
Next week's fact, yeah.
so the main thing would just be because Sirius's passive perception is only a 10, but he does have a blind sight of 10 feet as well.
Ooh, blindside.
Um,
That actually does change some stuff.
But then my passive perception is a 13.
Okay. You are. You kind of tell Sirius to wind his way across the floor up to the door. And Sirius is a snake, so they have a lot of like infrared senses, heat, smell, taste, kind of flicking their tongue in the air. Sound wise, you don't sense anything from outside the door. You don't hear any noise. There's no breathing. There's no footsteps. There's no muffled anything.
Mhm.
Both your senses being combined with Sirius,
Mhm.
there is like an animal instinct that is the feeling of prey.
Oh, okay.
Which the term that I'll use in the future is that you sense murderous intent,
Oh, okay, lovely.
but you cannot tell which direction it is coming from. You think it is from outside the door.
Okay.
Yes.
You said like sense prey, sense murderous intent. Do you mean that like Talith and Sirius are experiencing they have murderous intent, or they can tell that something else has
They
murderous
feel as
intent?
though there is murderous intent that could be directed at them
Gotcha.
from
Okay.
an outside source. It's kind of like when you
Okay.
know that someone is watching you, except it's you know that someone specifically would be interested in killing you.
Gotcha.
Okay. I will call Sirius back.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll kind of slither back up onto Addie. And then Talith, coming like to his own senses, will say, okay. He'll say this first to Medora quickly since she's like right next to him, but then he'll message it up to Addie. So there's two. This is the master bedroom just up here in the balcony. There are two people in the bed, likely a missus.
Shoot.
If we have to, we can go with plan B, A, I don't know. If you guys can watch my back for a minute, I just need a little bit of time and I can try and gather some information while they're asleep. And they shouldn't notice a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I will say, I couldn't quite tell if it was in the room itself or a guard posted outside, but there is somebody keeping watch nearby.
Okay.
Noted.
And
then while
then
you go in, I can wait outside the door and just stay vigilant, and wait to hear if anything happens.
and Talith, again, using his climbing speed of 35, will just
Yeah.
climb up basically
up.
the side
Yeah.
of
I
the
just
wall.
There isn't a check needed. Like for Addie,
insane.
it was very much just like finding those grooves and just muscling her way up. Addie, it is weird to watch because when Talith climbs, it's almost like he isn't grabbing onto any grooves. It's almost like he just, like, where he puts his hand, it like sinks into the stone for like a moment as he just kind of just almost like walks like kind of Spider-Man up the wall and over the railing.
Staying crouched to the ground, he'll just very quietly kind of creak open the door and just kind of shift in and just still staying like low to the ground, just start to kind of very quietly kind of shuffle his way to the bedside and try and see what he sees.
Fantastic. Can you roll a stealth check when you enter the room?
I would love nothing more, DM.
Yes, Grant.
For dramatic effect. Also, because I think it would be fun to set this up, I would like Leslie to look at the side of the manor that they're on, because I know Medora hasn't climbed the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see if there are any windows or any like sort of entryways that are near the bottom. Especially, I'm thinking like a basement window that's like half the size of a normal window or something. And then I will just, through Roy, direct Medora to any of those like openings where Medora can see in, on the off chance that like that looks into a basement and Medora can see something.
Can see anything.
Or some sort of thing. So that's just what Leslie is up to.
Also, there's
just
probably
so you
potential hiding spots as well in case they need to do anything like that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
That way Medora can also do some like reconnaissance of sorts on the base level. Yeah.
Medora, if you could give me an investigation check while that's happening. I also want to double check. Addie, are you at the door that leads, like, are you in the bedroom?
No, I'm waiting outside on the balcony.
On that terrace, gotcha.
Like as much in the shadows as possible. Like, I don't have a dagger drawn or anything at the moment. Like nothing that light could reflect off of. Just
For sure.
as hidden as possible.
Also, DM, could Sirius just assist me and just kind of keep his head just poked in enough just to kind of look around and just kind of again just keep that kind of sense going of that, just what's in the room and what's going on.
He will be able to do that, but since you aren't like looking through his eyes, the communication will be minimal. So I'm not going to give you advantage on anything.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. Well, I rolled real low. Again, we're doing great tonight. So it's only a stealth of 9.
Only a stealth of 9. Ain't that it? You creep very stealthily across the floor. As you walk, the hem of your robe kind of swishes out and catches a breeze from the door, and will actually swish into like a loose standing like candlestick, which will fall and clatter to the ground.
Oh my God.
You don't think that this is going to wake the people in the bed. But you do see the handle on the door start to turn.
Okay, so
you will have one action. All of you will have one action in this circumstance.
I will hold up a hand really briefly and like kind of motion for Addie to get down, and I will turn invisible.
Fantastic.
Good.
Cast invisibility. Roll a stealth check for me, Addie. For the two of you, what would you like to do?
I will probably, just keep an eye on the exterior, keep an eye on the room. And I'll also tell Roy, I'll be like, tell Medora to hide. Something's going on.
And I did
so
roll
that
a
Medora
dirty
gets
20 from the
Fantastic.
other check.
Medora, I will say there is a like cracked open window that leads into a darkened room. If that is what you find with that investigation check.
I'll take my chances and I'll like try to climb into the dark room.
Fantastic.
Nice. We love it.
So pumped.
This is why I won't be the last girl in a horror movie.
I'm assuming that you're also doing it stealthily.
Yes.
In that case, I'll need stealth check from you as well.
Got it.
I rolled a 14.
14 on that stealth.
Yeah.
Grant, I already asked for your perception check in a private message. This is just you keeping watch, notifying if anything outside the building is going on.
Okay, good.
You turn invisible, Drew, and then Medora. What did you get on your stealth check?
A 16?
A 16.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Fantastic.
Better
That's
than my
better than my
14.
9.
I got lucky with that one.
Drew,
Yes.
or should I say Talith? You're the one in the room.
Yes.
As the door creaks open, it is slowly opened.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely to not wake the people who are still in the bed. The door will swing outwards away from you, because if it were towards you, that would be a safety hazard. And standing in the hallway, you see what appears to be a young girl, maybe 13 or 14.
Oh, she's an assassin.
The thing that strikes you the most is her eyes. The irises of her eyes are half filled with almost like a steel gray liquid that actually sloshes as she looks around the room, as though there is a container of liquid behind her eyes. The way that she looks is almost like void, as though she isn't really, she's just kind of like dazing off into nowhere, even though you know that's not true because you can feel the intent behind her eyes. She looks across the room, scans it, and her eyes settle on the still barely cracked open door to the terrace. And moving silently, she walks across the room within 2 inches of where you stand. And she will kind of just slink up to the door, her head tilted a little bit, that liquid behind her eyes still remaining level with the ground, even though her head is turned. She takes a couple of breaths. Her hand curls around the edge of the door, and she begins to pull it open, ready to stick her head outside. Addie, at this point in time, you know that you will be seen if she gets out of here. Between you and Talith, I will give you one more action to decide what you're going to do. She rolled a, that would be a 19 plus 3 for a 22 on her perception.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's
This
very
is
good.
rough.
So what I would like to do is going to break my invisibility.
Bold.
But what I am going to do is I am going to basically, I mean, she's right next to me, right?
She has now moved a little bit past you. She's probably about a foot away.
Okay. I am basically going to get, like, I'm going to kneel down and get, like, right in front of her. And I am going to use my hypnotic gaze.
Okay.
She needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Fantastic.
Come on, Talith.
Oh god.
Make it happen.
What is the save that she needs to pass?
A 15 DM.
A 15. So I will tell you that she failed.
Okay. So as she falls under the hypnotic gaze, my invisibility will drop, but I will just maintain. Basically, we're basically staring right at each other. Basically, and I'm just gonna keep this up for now because I can. I'm going to basically very gently kind of guide her just barely out of the doorway of the balcony. And
how are you going to guide her?
I'm basically just going to just kind of place a very gentle hand and just kind of just shift her very slightly as I kind of walk around her, again keeping her just like literally like keeping her right in front of me.
And Drewby, real quick, for our lovely viewers and listeners who don't know what hypnotic gaze does,
So,
could you
okay, yes.
describe what it does?
So as long
like
as
both
she can, as long as she can see or hear me, and I stay within 5 feet, she is incapacitated and charmed by me.
And like, what's her experience? Like, what's happening?
I mean, basically, she's kind of dazed. She's basically just dazed, and like she isn't really aware of her surroundings, and I would say likely, like almost in a weird way, like she can't help but not just focus on Talith, basically.
I have 2 questions for Talith.
Okay.
Both of them are concerning.
Okay.
Oh dear.
The first one is, what is your max health?
18.
18. The second question is, what is your armor class?
Armor class is currently 12.
Currently 12, eh?
That's not very good. That's 2 above 10.
I still have my
We're in
action, right?
danger.
You have your what? Yes,
I have
you
my
will
action,
still
right?
have your action.
Okay.
I will say, as I will allow you to do something. You see Talith put a hand on her shoulder and begin to, like, kind of gently move her direction. You can tell that whatever he has done, mentally, she is not there. You also, after years of fighting and killing people, can see the muscles move in almost an autonomous reflex that she's going to stab him in the gut.
I want to grapple her.
Fantastic.
Yo, this is
This is
awesome.
That's not damage. It's not damage.
Yes.
You can't do anything to her, otherwise
I
it
can't
breaks.
do anything. Dude,
DM?
do you want to take a knife to the gut? I can't do anything?
Well, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure.
If you move more than 5 feet away from the creature, if a creature can neither see nor hear you, or if the creature takes damage.
Or if the creature. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. There you
So
go. You
if a grapple doesn't take, like, if it's not giving
Absolutely.
damage, it's just the condition.
Yeah.
Should be
This
okay.
is awesome.
That sounds good to me.
I double checked it before, like
Thank you. I
Said
appreciate
double
you
as well.
double checking for me because I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't even touch her.
Absolutely.
Shadowy
you.
figure
The
darts into the room.
athletics, she's not in her right mind. Normally she would use acrobatics, but this is going off of pure reflex. So it's going to be an athletics versus athletics.
All right.
Oh boy. See,
Well,
I
Addie also has to
I
roll a stealth.
absolutely love this right now so much.
At the moment,
people in the bed.
I'm keeping Gracie's stealth roll as is.
Awesome. That's great news.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. I haven't rolled this d20 yet. Very excited for it. Okay.
You said athletics versus athletics?
Yep.
24.
Okay, so she rolled a 5 with a +0.
Nice.
Very lithe, not very strong. Yeah, you can tell the moment you grab onto her arm, which I assume that the intent of this grapple is to mainly just stop the knife from getting
Yes.
plunged into his stomach.
Yes.
You just vice grip onto her arm. The other arm kind of like around her, just kind of holding her back. She isn't particularly strong.
She's
but
13, right?
Yeah, she is. This is like a 13-year-old girl. So like strength wise, not really there.
Yeah.
What you can tell is that the movements that she's making they aren't muscle memory. It is though she is being controlled by something.
Ooh.
Bad vibes. Bad vibes.
But she is like consistently just attempting, like she doesn't resist you. Just automatically the knife is heading towards his body.
All right.
So as long as you
hate
can
it.
as long as you can hold on, you don't think that she's going to go anywhere.
I have a follow-up question.
I have a follow-up answer.
The sleeping drought
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
that I have
Yes.
in my pocket, would what we have left of it work?
Yeah, it'll have a lower DC since it was cut in half. It isn't the full effects of it, but you would theoretically be able to put her to sleep with this. You think
Great
that she is
thinking.
her like mind isn't there. Actually, tell you what. I'll let you make a medicine check, and I will let Talith make an Arcana check to see if they can suss out whether being asleep would have this work.
Okay.
Would like shut her down.
I don't know anything.
Okay. Okay. There's only one way to find out.
Only one way to find it.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. So we're rolling great tonight.
1
For
and
a
2.
total of 30.
Oh boy.
Talith.
I mean, okay, so she's not even I mean, okay.
We can't, unless she's asleep, you can't do what else you need to do.
Correct. Unless
I can grapple her, but as soon as we let her go,
she's going to start to make noise.
she's gonna start. Yeah.
Um,
So grab the draught in my pocket, and you're gonna pour it into her mouth.
well, I got no better idea, so
We're going to do it.
I like the thought that Talith is like making eye contact with the girl while also like trying to get
Oh, yeah.
the thing
Well,
out of the
technically-
pocket.
are still open in this circumstance as well.
yeah, and technically speaking, I don't have to look at her. She just has to look at me.
Yeah, as long as
But
she can
Talith
see
has to
him.
like reach around like the girl.
It's yeah.
This you'll be able to pour this. This isn't a
Yeah.
check on your part. This will be a Constitution saving throw from her.
Ooh.
Okay, all of my dice are bad.
Ooh.
That is
It's okay.
like an
We just
8.
rolled a 1 and a 2, so don't worry. It's okay.
You pour the remainder. Mind you, the sleeping draught was in like a regular test tube sized vial, and you have half of that, so it's like a shot. So you just chuck that thing back there. Shot. Things are getting lit in the Langley mansion tonight. And the girl does go limp. She is no longer attempting to stab. The knife does not leave her hand. She is still like clutched onto the blade, but her body itself is limp. You see the lids of her
So-
eyes close, and
While
starts
she's
to
still under
snore a
the
little
effects of the gaze, of the hypnotic
Mhm.
gaze, Addie, take some of the rope. Let's restrain her just in case.
I am also, and once her eyes
Mhm.
shut, I'm going to take a bit of spare cloth that I have, and I'm going to tie it around her eyes.
Sounds good.
And then finally, DM, I will draw a memory from her.
Sounds cool.
Let's go.
Because I want to see if
Oh,
I
yeah.
can learn something about what the heck this girl's been through.
It's like the SpongeBob episode where he keeps going between everybody's dreams.
Yeah, it's exactly like that, Grant.
But like it's in the manor now with all these people.
Oh God.
Let's see. I don't entirely remember how this works. I think you have to roll. Oh yeah, you have to roll a d6
have to roll a d6. Where's my d6? There it is. A 3 DM.
That is a standard memory. What exactly is standard for this girl anymore? So this is the first time. This is I wait a second. Aaron, you already know what the answer is. You planned for this beforehand. It's in your notes. This is the first time that you have attempted to reach into someone's mind and been met with a barrier. You will not gain a memory bead from this.
Okay.
Instead, what happens is you reach your hand around, put it on the base of her neck. Those like vaporous tendrils of purple and violet light and green spread up towards the base of her skull, and you are momentary inside of her head, and you're watching through silver bars that are stopping you from taking or copying this memory from her. So you will not gain a bead. Instead, what you view from behind these bars is a dark, damp, cold floor. Your hands are sticky. And for the life of you, you can't remember why. And you start to cough and retch a little bit as there's a metallic taste in your mouth that you think is partly blood. But it's mixed with something else as you begin to weep. But as you look down at the floor that you now realize is coated with a thin layer of blood, your hands resting in this crimson pool, steel silver droplets fall from your eyes instead of tears. And you gasp and you look up towards a tiny little slat in the steel door, and you see a pair of cold eyes, dark as coal, staring back at you. You can't see any expression in them. You can't see the rest of the face other than the eyes. But you know that there is a sense of satisfaction. Thanks, Grant.
Oh man, I thought I was muted. Sorry, guys. I hope that wasn't too loud. Go ahead. The creature sneezes. Continue.
You get a deep sense of, you can tell that there's a deep sense of satisfaction from these eyes watching you wallow in your misery. And that is the memory that you witness.
Okay. As he comes to, like, almost for a moment, he has to draw a breath, even though he doesn't need. And he just very gently sets her down.
Addie's gonna keep holding her.
Yeah. Addie, you would notice, strangely, this is the first time that you've seen, like, rage. For, like, not even, this is different than, like, on the train when he kind of was in this strange frenzy. This is like just this very cold and calculated, just vitriol of what he just saw. And he will then turn to the lord and lady in the bed. With his dark vision, can he see where he is, where the master
easily.
Is? Okay.
You see kind of a middle-aged elderly fellow with sleeping perfectly aligned on the bed, coiffed hair still kind of like greased into position. All with like smooth skin, very clearly well maintained, even in his older age.
Okay. I will send a message just in my head down to Medora.
Yes, I would love to get to Medora in a second as well.
But I would
before you send that message,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
because we need to know where Medora is before you do
I'm
that.
scared.
I also want to cover Leslie. Leslie, you are still keeping watch on the outside. You do notice, like, you like scope over to the door to the terrace. The hand creeps around the window, and then Addie darts inside. You can't see quite what happens beyond that. What you do see is that there is a vehicle, kind of a horse-drawn wagon that has entered through the main gate and is currently traveling up the drive, parking itself relatively near the rose garden.
Oh no. Do I think from where the party members are, do I think they're in danger of being seen if they like
Not
leave
by the
their
wagon, at
locations?
least. It's just a change
Okay.
that I figured would be important to note.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at night. That is very strange.
Mhm.
So
It is
here's
like 3 in the morning. So
yeah, it is 3 a.m. So Leslie, may I so I noticed that. Would I have to roll to see if I see anything else in particular? Or would you just
roll
let me know that?
roll a perception check.
Base
I will also
perception
allow
check.
investigation if that's better for you. would doubt it.
16. Well,
16.
I'm going to do 16, and here's my intentions. Leslie is trying to get one last scope before he moves. So he's just scanning everything. So that's 16.
16. You notice that there is a crest burned into the wood, one that you do not recognize, but it appears to be some form of bird. Its wings
Now,
are
when you
spread.
say into wood, do you mean on the carriage?
Yes, burnt into the kind of the undercarriage to designate like who it belongs to.
Okay, and it looks like a bird with wings spread.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't tell what type of bird from this distance.
Leslie will look down at Roy and be like, "Hey there, little fella. I know that we don't know each other very well yet. If you didn't catch it, my name's Leslie. Nice to meet you. You're Roy. If you're comfortable with it, you are welcome to ride on my back. I'm about to move, unless you can handle your own. But I would recommend.
I remembered what baby crocodiles sound like.
All right. Well, let's go ahead then.
It waddles its way.
All right. It go on its own. So Leslie will climb down the tree, and however long this takes is fine, but Leslie will do two things. He will sort of hug the rose garden on the side of where the party is.
Oh, so are you sprinting up to the rose garden across the yard?
Leslie's intention is the people are now in the building, and Leslie cannot see them, and Medora's alone. All of those things, and there's a thing that might be worth seeing closer. So Leslie's goal is to get closer so he can have a better understanding of what's happening. So like if he manages to get up close enough and he's like hiding behind the rose garden, for example, if he could ideally get a closer view of where the party is and a view of the wagon, that would be best.
Okay. Can you make either an athletics check to sprint or a stealth check to run up to like kind of slink your way up towards that location?
I will do a stealth check.
That sounds good.
Melody, who was with Bear, seeing this happen, will actually then fly over and perch back on the house, kind of putting both Bear and where the rest of the group was, kind of those two areas in sight.
Everyone has triangulated their positions.
Yes.
Yeah, and I apologize. I forgot that Melody was chilling with us.
No, totally good.
I imagine she was laying on Roy's head. I was like, I was originally
Probably.
imagining
Yeah.
that happening.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
But
Melody
I'd
and
love
Roy
if
are now
stuck
best
with
friends,
me.
100%.
I rolled a 19 to stealth up closer,
Easily.
So I can get a better look at the wagon and the
100%.
locations.
I'll tell you at this distance. I'll also have you roll a perception check for me.
Oh my word.
Nat 1.
Oof.
This will be with advantage, specific for reasons.
I was hoping. Okay, so with a perception, that will be a 17.
17. That's much better than a 1.
Much better.
You blend in seamlessly, once again moving kind of with the shadows that the clouds form above you from the multiple moons.
Cat-like almost.
Absolutely, you prowl. You're on the hunt.
I am.
You skulk your way towards the thorny rose maze, kind of slipping almost between the briars at points, where you get to close enough to the wagon that you can see clearly. The bird is a buzzard.
Oh, ew.
Yep, you can see the bald crown, kind of the tuft at its neck. The other thing that hits you is the smell of fertilizer.
Like manure fertilizer?
You sense a lot. You can smell a lot of like metallic tangs.
Okay.
There might be. It's hard to know. There's a lot of different types of fertilizer, but you think
Okay,
that that's
but
most
not like
likely what they're
straight up.
transporting.
Not straight up like poop.
No, it is not
Good.
manure smelling.
Sweet.
While you're there, you're still keeping watch from a different location, kind of checking out this cart. They will start to unload what appear to be like bags of manure and just kind of begin to scatter them among the bases of those rose bushes. Medora, I want to check in with you real quick. You have climbed into the building, into a dark room through that like half-opened window, crouched down below the windowsill so that way you won't be seen. As your eyes kind of adjust to the area around you, do you have dark vision? Because that does make this a lot easier. I feel like you do. It feels like something that you would have. Either way, let's just assume that you do.
I'm gonna assume so because
you're like,
yeah,
you're kind of hexy.
yeah.
You've got hag stuff. Hags have dark vision, probably.
Yeah.
You look around. You appear to be in kind of a workroom, kind of an office area that has a bunch of letters and documents. You also see that there's kind of a work table that has kind of a chemist set on it that has various vials filled with different liquids that looks like it has been recently used. There is no dust in here. This is a well-used location. Yes, Medora.
Can I do a medicine check on the test tubes to see if there's anything that would help?
You absolutely may use a medicine check.
I also do have proficiency in medicine.
That makes it much easier for you to roll well.
I do have dark vision.
I'm trying to remember how proficiency goes.
You add a +2 at this level to your roll. So it is your wisdom, and then since you're a proficient, you add a +2.
10?
10. Hey, that's an average roll. Is that 10 on the die or 10 like with the additions?
10 in
It totals
total.
up to 10. Okay. You kind of examine the chemist set. You notice this is not familiar to you because none of these are like natural ingredients. Everything is very synthesized. Specifically, you do see that you are kind of able to tell kind of what the end goal is and kind of how it would be used. You notice lying on the table is a syringe with a silver liquid in it.
I like to take that syringe, but with caution. I will rip off a piece of my like cloth because my clothing is just rags at this point. Take a piece off. I like wrap it around like the
pointy part.
the needle. Yeah, and all of that, and then I put it safely within my pocket.
Fantastic.
The other players nodding in approval. Like, yes, take the liquid.
You are in no current danger here. You probably are able to get a sense. You do a quick check through Roy's eyes. Know that 1, he has moved. 2, there is a cart with people unloading kind of manure to or some kind of type of fertilizer to these rose bushes. So you know that if you pop your head up out of there, there's a higher chance that you will be seen from your location. That is when the message comes to you from Talith.
And it will just say, encountered a guard. It was a child. Seems to be under some sort of influence from a silver liquid. Gaining information from the master now. and then that's when he will approach and do his thing.
Fantastic. Roll under the d6 for me.
Come on. A 4 DM.
Okay, that is a standard memory. Now, this is not in the rules.
Mhm.
I will allow you to delve deeper if you want, but it will cause
Stuff.
negative effects.
What kind of negative effects, DM?
You don't know. This is not something that we've really talked about.
I would imagine, given his anger that he currently feels, he is trying to gain all the information that he can from this person.
Fantastic. In that case, let's just switch the die to a 6. You delve into this guy's memory, and you are specifically searching for something to do with this girl, something to do with the mat vase, information that'll help you here. What you do find is actually a relatively damning evidence. You find a conversation between Langley and Matvey actually in the room that Medora is currently in. You wouldn't know that at the moment, but you know that that's where it took place. They're standing next to the work table and the kind of chemist equipment, the alchemy stuff. And they are standing next to the guard that you currently have, the young girl. And Matvey, who's standing there, he has kind of a slicked back, oily looking, peppered hair, squinty eyes. He just naturally kind of looks skeevy, is the term that I would get. But he is standing there, his hands on the girl's shoulders, and he says, "Well, I must say, this one was a definite success, a prodigy, really, a natural at what she does. You have been a lifelong friend of mine. You have assisted me in so many endeavors. So she is my gift to you. Do not worry, she will protect you. She will keep you safe from harm. And she will stay out of the way, most importantly. I'm sure you won't even know that she's there. Of course, she could not have been made without your help. And so I thank you. Your research into quick steel has been revolutionary." And Langley says, "Well, my good sir." "Not sir, friend. Our partnership is perhaps one of the greatest that has ever graced this sector, perhaps all of the sectors. And I would not trade it for anything in the world. Without you, I would not have met my wife. I would not have amassed this wealth. I would not have been able to delve so deeply into my trade and my passion for science. And frankly, what you have done with it, well, indeed, it may be terrifying to some. I know is the next step of evolution when it comes to warfare." And that is where the memory fades. As your eyes kind of uncloud over and you're able to look at what you've done, you notice that the purple and green energies that lance through their body have almost taken a permanent root in the base of their skull, leaking a mixture of blood and energy from the cranium, right where the brainstem would connect. You don't think that he has died or anything terrible like that. You frankly don't know what the effects of this are or what they entail. You are sure that people will only find out when/if he wakes.
If only we cared.
Oh, what a bummer.
Darn. Should have been a better
As just as long as I didn't give him
person.
superpowers, that's all I really care about.
Yeah, that's true. That's
He
true.
turns into a vampire.
Well, I can't do that. So, okay. As he kind of he has to his hand is tensed, as he
Yes.
almost has to rip his hand away from the neck. he will take the memory bead and pocket it.
Mhm.
Like very quickly try and pull out his notebook as he comes to the door and like scribbles down a few notes just to make sure he doesn't forget some of the more important details, just in case. We got what do we need? I will message down to Medora and let her know we're coming back out.
All right, I'm bringing her with us.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
when I get that
Yeah.
message, I
You
will
are able to
say
respond mentally. Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I will say noted. Looking for a few more items, just keeping it very quick and simple. And I want to see if I can do an investigation check for any documents that might have important sigils, important evidence, important
Absolutely.
information that we could have.
Roll that investigation check.
Love
Find
Medora.
your incriminating evidence.
Tala,
We gonna get this Bobo.
can
Yeah.
you check in with Bear as well?
Oh yeah, you do
Um,
see as you get to the edge of the balcony, you do
Yeah.
kind of step back for a moment because you can see that there is
From
now
where
a
we are.
wagon there
Okay.
that is unloading that fertilizer.
Do we see Bear at all from our vantage point?
That's a fantastic question. Medora knows where he is, but you can make a perception check versus his stealth. I don't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
It was
Grant?
17.
17.
Bear is crouched snake style, like
Oh yeah, like Metal Gear Solid.
Metal
Snake
Gear
style.
Solid style.
Do I
like,
at least notice that he isn't where he was?
I will say that for sure. You do not see. Normally, you could see like the reflection of a scope in the trees. That would just look like a star from a distance.
So
it is not there.
after I notice that he is not there, I will just begin to look around. Do I see Melody on the nearby?
Yes, Melody has landed on the rose bush. People are paying it no mind. Even it's just a bird.
So
Uh,
if I see Melody,
You can
and
assume.
I can
Melody
assume
is
that
near where he is.
Bear would be near that vicinity then, because knowing that Bear moved. So I will, since it doesn't have to be exact, I would aim the spell in that direction. Bear, if you can hear me, you can respond. We gathered what we need. We're making our way out.
Did I hear that?
Yes, it contacts you successfully in your mind.
Congratulations. That was a mission success. I'll keep an eye out while you extract successfully. Over and out.
How
DM.
are we going to extract with?
Yeah,
That's a
I was
fantastic-
just thinking that.
Like,
What can I do? I don't have something like Featherfall. That would be very helpful.
You got ropes.
DM, yeah, I was gonna say, well, DM with my spider climb.
Mhm.
If I basically backpacked her, like if I basically secured her around me using some rope and basically like secured some rope around me and just kind of threw her on my back, could I spider climb down?
That would force you to make an athletics check.
Okay.
That would threaten your ability to climb well. I can see Addie chomping at the bit.
Okay. Well, I was gonna
I
say
was gonna say, I can still
if I have to
have
make
her,
an
don't
athletics
worry.
check, then Addie might as well be the one to
It's
basically
just
do
work.
that because she
Yeah.
can, because then she can do it.
Addie can climb down with one arm.
Addie
Like,
can
just
do
like-
athletics checks. That's all Addie's good at.
This is what she was
That and
built
stealth and
for.
acrobatics. That's all she has.
But yeah, but I will make my way down before Addie, just in case I need to make a save.
Yeah,
Definitely
you can
head
land
first,
softer
too.
on the flesh body of this.
Yeah.
Vampires don't have bones. This is a canonical, so he's just kind of like a puddle of meat. So it'll be great.
What? Wait, vampire?
Well, technically not vampires.
It's dumb peers don't have bones. That's the joke.
Oh, I picture when Talbot climbs down the wall, it's head first.
Yes,
so it's just like
I,
crawling like
I was literally about to say that. Like in your haste, you kind of forget to look normal doing it. So you
Yeah,
just kind
yeah,
of just scuttle down head first.
yeah.
Addie, athletics
Dirty
check
20.
from you. Dirty 20.
Nice.
This is you. It's very impressive because there's no fancy rope method like a method in here. Just girl under your arm, and then you just like foothold, and then you drop and just like a little bit, just far enough down that you're still able to like snatch onto a crimp with your left hand and just like brute force hang there and kind of slow your drop every once in a while. She is like a 13-year-old girl, so she's not too heavy. But you know, Addie's still a baller. You reach the ground successfully. You don't think that you've been spotted. Getting past might be a little interesting. But Medora, I want to know your investigation check.
22.
Oh, you find a lot of documents. There are a lot of documents that are like deals between Langley and Matvey. So any number of them, you're just kind of fanning through them pretty quick. So you just kind of grab a handful. You also know that there is a notice. You know that Matvey has been supplying Langley with their fertilizer. So that is a random thing that you do happen to grab. There's like one of the trade deals. It was on top. And then, so you're able to grab those documents real quick. You can kind of sort through them later because you're in a bit of a crunch right now. You just kind of like, Matvey, just throw them in a bag. It is now time for the four of you to extract yourself from this situation.
Yes.
If one of you would like to find a way to cause a distraction, then you'll have advantage on your stealth checks.
I was thinking to myself, man, actually, one of those explosions would be perfect right now because, like, literally, Melody could just airdrop that like on the opposite side of the estate. It would be perfect.
Garwick, the destroyer, is in his shop, and he's like, bet they're wishing that they had an explosive right now.
Hey, but you know what? Tauth will learn, and he will always have one now.
I mean, we could have a familiar cause a distraction.
I mean, yes. Unfortunately, it can't be Melody who has the quickest.
We're waiting.
Okay. I'm assuming I climb out of the window.
Yes, you're able to kind of like.
Am I within 30 feet of them? I'm assuming. I'm trying to see if I can make this.
Yes.
All right.
Of who?
So I am going. Okay.
Pretty much everyone is within 30 feet of you. In all honesty.
Okay. With question, are the roses in the rose garden already budding? Like, are they already like fully in bloom?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is rose season. They are, as I mentioned previously, they're very well maintained, very lively.
Very gorgeous.
Medora's cooking something.
So what I want to do once I like come out, I kind of with like a flick of a few fingers, kind of just like trying to be stealthily about it, start to make some of these roses kind of have a nice golden sparkle to them, almost as if it's like little tiny fireflies flying around all the little rosebuds. It's not all of them. It's at least most of them that are near the people that are like still, I'm assuming, taking out the manure and stuff like that. Where I kind of get like a little whimsical effect on some of these roses, kind of adding more to the awe of these roses.
Absolutely. Is this using like druid craft?
Yes.
That's what I assumed. Yeah, you kind of lay your hand on the ground. The other one, the like blackened necrotic fingertips, moving towards them, sending out your energy and your will. And sure enough, the roses begin to even slightly like bloom more than they were before, giving off this kind of effervescent shine. I will roll. They are enamored.
Nice.
I
Nice.
told y'all I'd love him to death.
Our druid queen.
Yeah, there are two people who are currently unloading these kind of bags of fertilizer as they go. And one of them goes, Dawn, look at that. Jerry, I don't have time for this. We'll try to. Well, I'll pay. You ever seen roses do that? He's like, I've never seen it, Dawn. This is the first time in my life. We should get closer and investigate it while completely ignoring the rest of our surroundings. He's like, I've never heard a better idea. Mother always said that you weren't worth nothing, but you are worth something. You're worth something to me. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, Dawn. They just have this really heartfelt conversation next to these roses. They hug.
While that's happening, I join them.
Yeah, so Medora's like, hey. So,
Hey guys.
what's up, sweetheart? How's it going?
Oh my god. Also, while this is happening, sadly the
Absolutely.
curses is getting more where it's like now like most of my fingers.
It's like up to
Oh
your
my
knuckles.
gosh.
yeah.
If the rest of you would like to make stealth or just brute force athletic checks with advantage.
Nat 20.
to just-
Nat 20.
Addie is
to
the
get
most
out of
athletic
here.
in the world.
26 if we're going brute force athletics.
I
the rest
rolled
of
a
you.
4, which is an 8.
Ooh.
With advantage?
Oh no.
Come on.
That's a 6, which is a 10, which is 2 digits.
That's an average roll.
I rolled a 15, DM.
15. Medora, how we doing?
That's not a
Medora
great
lied.
face.
Medora's going to stay here.
My bad.
Did you say 8?
Wait,
An 8
without,
total?
wait, is it with advantage or not advantage? Hold on.
With
Yes,
advantage.
advantage. You got
Yeah,
it.
so roll
Big
a
roll,
D20,
big roll,
take
big
the higher
roll.
I rolled my extra die because I got the D20 or I got the 20 on the first one. I got a 19 on the other roll.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
I got a. I cannot read that. What does it say? 17.
17.
Much better.
This is a group stealth check, so as long as the majority of you pass, and the 20 counts as 2. So
Oh, thank God.
Even if I die.
basically,
Let's
yeah,
go.
basically, what ends up happening here is Leslie starts to like turn, and he slips on a pile of fertilizer that has been previously thrown, and as he's about to face plant into the ground, Addie sprints by him, just scoops him up with the other arm, and is just hightailing it with like a small girl and a full-grown man.
Thank you, Addie.
Straight up, she reaches the wall, plants her feet, and just like Fosbury flops over this like 8-foot wrought iron fence.
She did pole vaulting.
Absolutely,
You know,
high jump,
all
pole
right.
vaulting. I mean,
All of
you were
it.
trained by the best.
Yeah.
All right. You Fosbury flop. It is kind of a rough landing because you basically land on
I do
Leslie
not
trying to
prioritize
not
Leslie at
land
all.
on the girl.
I'm like elbowing him as I'm cradling the girl.
I will state the rest of you are pretty normal. Talith, it's weird for you to watch someone, and for a moment you're like, is this what it looks like to other people when I like climb walls? Is this a feeling that they have where they're like, what did I just witness? What is going on? It's like a real reflective moment for
Yeah,
you. It's like a look in the
like-
mirror.
Like he gets like up to the wall, sees Addie, vaults over, and he's just like,
He's like, I'm like not human and I can't do that. What is going on?
This is her expertise.
Also, Roy does jump off before you land on him. So Roy is just standing there, goes, and the rest of you manage to scale the wall, get to the other side. I assume, where would you like to go? Are you going to head back to your room at the inn?
how
I
out is the girl?
Oh, she's gone. This sleep draught will last half as long as it normally does, which means that it will not last for a full rest. It'll only last for 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay, that gives us time.
Well, good work, team.
yeah.
We better get out of here.
I'm going to I'm a little worried about us all traveling in a group with a you know, a sleeping-
Unconscious, kidnapped child.
unconscious child.
Fair.
I think if you're okay with this, I'm going to take her to the bar safe house thing, and I'm gonna talk with them over there. I have some more things I need to talk to them about, and I need to talk to the people who specifically gave us this information. I'm gonna see if I can find an alchemist who knows anything about what's happened with her. I say you guys go back to the inn. I will meet up with you later. I have some things I really need to do on my own, seeing this.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, make sure that she's taken care of. I think those people in the bar will take care of her. Sorry, the wind got knocked out of me.
Yeah, you're fine. Listen, I appreciate your help. I really, really do. I'm not used to doing this with others, but it went better than I expected. So, thank you.
You're welcome. It was what was right. Good old Captain Leslie strikes again. Yeah, even though you all did the work, I just kind of watched.
You helped, buddy. And I just like pow, pow, chopping his shoulder.
Thank you.
And before Addie leaves the three of us, she will hear in her head from Talith. Thank you, by the way, for helping me not get stabbed.
It's what I do. Also, we're going to murder Matt V. Just so you know.
I figured
I'm
that
so
was
glad nobody died. So that's the out
Get some more information out of Matt.
Yeah.
As
Oh.
Well, I was going to say, as the four of you kind of split up into a set of three, and technically the five of you, 2 and 3. Addie, you head under the cover of darkness through the back streets to the Scales, Hardened Scales. That's the name of the place. To the underground bar. The 3 of you, I assume, are returning to your rooms.
Yeah, and
Yes.
can we assume that we all, before we split up, shared the info? So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that way, Addie knows,
debrief.
what Medora found and all that.
Yes.
Just for continuity's
Continuity's
sake. But
sake.
yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
You all kind of put your heads together, spread out your information, knowing that you might have some documents on the 2 of them. Talith, how much do you tell them about what you saw?
Ooh. A fair portion, I would say.
Okay. So the most of you get the gist of it. There's some kind of cage, perhaps some experiments, blood is involved, things are bad. As all of you kind of go to your respective areas for the night to either continue working or to compile your evidence, or even just to get some rest before who knows what you have to deal with tomorrow, that is where we're going to end stream tonight.
Ooh.
So first of all,
Fantastic.
thank you to my players. You have been wonderful. It was another
Thank you,
fantastic
GM.
episode. I enjoy everything that we've done. And honestly, this is a statement for everyone, for you and everyone watching. I think that we're getting better at this. So instead,
Yeah, you know,
this was
Kind of the
We're starting to figure
first
this out.
time. The
Yeah,
first
we're
time that we
getting in the
kind of
groove.
worked as a team effectively, which was pretty cool.
we there's always the jitters when it comes to starting a new season, and I think that we're really starting to kind of overcome these things. I would like to thank the viewers out there for stopping by and being incredible. We could not possibly, we would have no show if we didn't have people to watch it. So thank you so much for being here and kind of taking a part and sitting at our table with us. Thank you also to our Kickstarters, our backers. You are incredible. Fill out the poll, check your email. Those are the things that we ask you to do. I will be hopefully within the next week to 2 weeks reaching out to the people that I need to reach out for the mythic tier and stuff like that, because all of you are incredibly important, and we're going to do that. I don't think that I have any ending things other than that I need to do. Am I wrong here? Other than the end thing that I say every time, I can see Gracie passing out as she shakes her head. The only thing that I have left to say is the same thing that I say every week. Good luck and Godspeed, Dungeoneers. We will see you next time. finger guns, blow, blow.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.